Hey, Chad, how you doing? Sorry, I'm a little late. I had a little bit of a quartering moment earlier today. If you've been watching the Kino Casino playlist on my channel, you'll know what I'm talking about. Maybe we should react to that. I don't know. That would be funny. But how are you guys doing? See, we got, let's see, we got Patty Quinn in the house already. How you doing, Patty Quinn? Good to see you, my man.
Welcome, valued customer!
And we got Wingus Dingus. How you doing, Wingus?
The more the magicer.
Alright, how you guys doing? Good to see you. Alright, so we got a couple things going on. Let's see. So, what do we want to talk about first? Okay, so... So I wasn't even going to talk about the Charlie Kirk thing anymore, but then something came up today. Alright, Patty Quinn's doing well. Glad to hear it, Patty. I'm not too bad. Not too bad. Doing quite magicer. Good, good. The more the magicer, after all. But yeah, I figure I don't really want to talk a lot about the whole Charlie Kirk thing anymore, because, you know, it's been a week. I think at this point there's just not a lot to talk about for me. And I think also it's starting to feel like a lot of people are just kind of grifting off it, and they definitely don't want to go down that route. So, but here's the thing. I saw something that was kind of funny. I saw Alex Jones talking about, you know what, let me just show you here. So I saw Alex Jones talking about this, and it just had me laughing. So, basically, Alex does not think that, you know, Netanyahu and Israel had anything to do with the Charlie Kirk assassination. But, as soon as he saw this today, he goes, oh god, what was he thinking even responding to this? Now it's going to just be a total Streisand effect. And that just had me laughing, because what makes it funny is that just responding to this makes it seem like maybe he did have something to do with it, because why would you do anything but ignore it if you didn't? So I just thought that was kind of funny. Probably not worth dedicating like a whole segment to, but it gave me a good laugh. But we do have some like actual main topics to go over. And then at the end, we're gonna get into some Relooted, because that came out, and I decided to torture myself. So, yeah, in today's React topics, we got a couple of black pills here. Kind of black pills. But, if you stick around, there will be a bit of a white pill at the end, so... You know, just gotta stick around for it. But, let's see. Gwen, last week I was in North Carolina, and after we heard what happened to Charlie Kirk, I haven't been the same since. Yeah. Yeah, it sounds like it's affected a lot of people. Yeah, the video is pretty disturbing, so I think that's probably a big part of it. Let's see. So let me pull up that first video. Alright, so first off is probably the most serious topic. Turn off autoplay here.
I don't know why, but some people on the right think that.
So, this is Luke Rudkowski of We Are Change. He's done a lot of reporting on this kind of stuff in the past. You might know him from hanging out with Tim Pool a lot, but he has his own show, so... Basically, we're talking about the Epstein Files and how we're never getting them. So, you know, just, we'll just watch along. I got a few thoughts here.
think that this is some kind of epic own.
Client list. Why was this July 7th memorandum unsigned?
Would you prefer I've used AutoPen?
What? If you look at and remember that memorandum, it literally stated that there was no client list, there was no extortion operation, and Epstein absolutely took himself out, which we all know.
Yeah, and basically what the guy's asking is, why wasn't this thing signed? And instead of saying anything about why it wasn't signed, Kash Patel just goes, oh, I should have used AutoPen because of the whole Biden thing.
We all know, especially if you have any kind of critical thinking skills, that is virtually impossible. As now, Kash Patel, I don't believe it, doubled, tripled down on his interrogation tape in front of members of the U.S. representative government and stated, no, absolutely. Trafficking? What trafficking? That never happens here. As his words are very interesting. We'll go over them in great detail, since there does deserve to be a bigger conversation about the story of the decade that some people believe is being ignored. I don't think it is. There's a lot of important things to talk about here, specifically when it comes to Donald Trump and Melania visiting Windsor Castle. They had a weird reception, to say the least, here, as this scandal is also breaking across the pond, as many in the United Kingdom also have some very serious...
You posted 2 things about Charlie on your Facebook, and your typical Facebook friends commented saying he was a racist and didn't agree with God's beliefs. Yeah, that seems to be, unfortunately, a somewhat common reaction to a lot of this. Yeah, it's unfortunate, but...
questions as Kash Patel gave us some details here. Now, of course, the Biden AutoPen controversy, like, we get it. It's a controversy, but to say Epstein took himself out, I didn't need to sign that. I don't know. It just feels all very weird to me, especially in a key critical time and juncture where people are looking at the FBI for helping us bring a semblance of peace and order in our society when we are on the brink of something extremely dangerous and escalating.
Which is kind of a mistake in and of itself. If anything, the FBI causes problems that it then pretends to solve. It doesn't really seem to actually solve problems. I mean, maybe that's just me.
Escalatory. This type of stuff does not breed confidence, and I think it does deserve to be addressed in its full and utter manner here. As, of course, Thomas Massie, a man who has been pushing the issue, a man who has been talking about the issue and bringing attention to a lot of the family members here, says that he wants to know why in the world did Kash Patel change this tune so much surrounding these Epstein files. Of course, you look at previous videos where he was talking to me and Tim Pool, and there was a different person. There was different talking points. There was different understandings. Now that understanding has been completely shifted upside down.
How much do you think the Epstein issue is front and center there? What do you want to hear from him specifically on that?
Well, I don't want to ask redundant questions. I expect the Democrats will ask a lot of questions about the Epstein files. The first and foremost would be, why did you switch your position on this? There are countless interviews of him on TV where he said on day one we'd release the names. I'm going to wait and see what's asked, and if there are questions that need to be asked that haven't been asked about Epstein, I'll ask those questions.
Do you have confidence?
I'll let you know after this hearing. This will be his first time in front of Congress, and I think it's important that he has a good showing.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is probably like the only guy in Congress who's actually focused on getting us the Epstein files, Thomas Massie. And he's right, because, the Kash Patel, the FBI director, he used to be going around on all these podcasts saying, "Oh, we're gonna get the Epstein files. We know they're out there. First thing we're gonna do is release them and expose everything." And now he's just going around saying, "Oh, they didn't exist. But there's no such thing."
That was before the hearing. During the hearing, FBI Kash Patel says, quote, "There's no credible evidence that Epstein trafficked young women to other individuals." Really?
So if he never did that, then why was he even in jail, where he absolutely didn't kill himself? And why is his girlfriend, Ghislaine Maxwell, in jail? Why is anybody in jail if there was no trafficking, if nothing happened?
Ghislaine Maxwell went for the crime of trafficking children to absolutely no one. That's the line that you're going to be officially talking about here, as there's some paid-off right-wing influencers being like, what children? No children were hurt here. As, of course, there's people literally coming out that they were 14. There was younger people there.
Oh, and if you don't know, by the way, one of the Epstein victims recently didn't kill herself also.
As well, and it's something that I've been able to kind of collaborate. But this is the exact reference. This is the exact moment here. As a lot of people have different responses to this. Owen Schroyer says, "The meme became real. Epstein and Maxwell trafficked as slaves to no one." Dominique Michael Trippi, who posted this first, says, "The handling of this has been so pitiful, disgraceful, and deceptive. All trust has been eroded when it comes to Kash Patel and Dan Bongino." Yeah, I agree. Very little trust here. Myron Gaines says, "Yeah, and dudes watch adult content to see if the plumber is actually going to fix that leaky faucet." I know, right? Gary Cardone, "Please provide facts for this statement. If accurate, we need a new FBI director stat." Yeah, a lot of other people. Bro, all responding to this particular video.
Yeah, nobody buys it.
Most of the files.
Himself. Oh, he just trapped. It was just him. All these other elites that were above the law and were able to do anything and everything that they wanted to do and have violated many laws before and never were really held accountable. They just went on this private island and were hanging out with this prolific, convicted S-offender for no reason.
Like, seriously, it makes no sense whatsoever. I mean, just a cursory examination of the basic facts. I mean, there were all these bedrooms and cameras on his island. I think it should be really obvious. And it is really obvious. That's why nobody believes any of this.
Reason at all. There was no hanky-panky. There was no weird stuff. He just trafficked to himself. What? No. Come on. Really? No one's buying this. No one's buying trafficked to himself. Come on.
Information.
There's no credible, and this is where the cleanup job is. There's no credible information.
If there were, I would bring the case.
If there were. Again, very careful wording here. Very careful wording here.
Yesterday, that he trafficked to other individuals, and the information we have again is limited.
So the answer is
The information we have again is limited. This is where he's trying to save himself. But he's reiterating this memo, which he was like, "What, you wanted me to sign that with an auto pen?" This memo that was released and no one put their name behind because it was a total disrespect towards anyone's intellect. Epstein took himself out. No extortion, no blackmail, no client list. Go home, stop asking questions about it. That's what the memo said. Case closed.
So business as usual, pretty much.
And people are like, the DOJ and FBI released this. Why didn't you put your name behind it? Because again, whoever would get the heat. Now you're saying, I don't have an auto pen. What does that have to, like, come on, man. Like, such a stressful issue. And I need this. I don't know. I don't know why. Keep it underneath the tongue. It's made in America. Cancer prep.
in the files.
In the case file.
Okay. Now, you see.
Yeah, in the case files. Now, again, to give Kash the benefit of the doubt, he kind of came in there. He's like, "Okay, guys, let's get all these files. Get all," and they didn't give him anything. And he should have just said it. But then Trump's like, "Play ball." And he's probably just taking orders from Donald Trump here. There's a lot. There's cell phone data location. There's financial transactions. There's a lot of things that, of course, could be looked into. But, of course, does the FBI have any kind of official documents? No, they're probably deleted. They were probably scrubbed. There probably should be an official type of investigation into all of this, and there isn't. And people are told to shut up and go home. And Kash Patel is essentially the fall guy here, which sucks because a lot of people had a lot of high hopes And a lot of people were hoping that there would be accountability, that there would be justice, that there would be an action taken by this administration. Right now, we have Castle, a place frequented by Epstein and other associates. Free Epstein off of his plate. Look who's coming to dinner. That's what the letter said.
Had not done so, we conducted an exhaustive. The search warrants were limited to small time periods to include 2002 to 2005 and 1997 to 2001.
Yeah, the original search warrants were criminal within themselves and were a part of the criminal cover-up because they were, you know, mostly when you do a lot of these like search warrants, you don't have to be that specific all the time, right? But they were extremely specific where they were like, oh, they found evidence, but like, oh, we can't do that because the scope of evidence of exactly what we're looking for is this type of very small, nuanced niche detail.
Again, without the permission of the court.
Yeah, a lot of people were like, wait, the victims weren't even told what's going on here. That was strange. That was weird.
The non-prosecution agreements also barred future prosecutions for those involved at that time.
And that's what Ghislaine Maxwell is trying to fight in the Supreme Court, being like, look, I was promised I was going to be safe. The fact that of very young, we got nothing.
This is the part I was looking for.
31 Republican senators except Rand.
So this is the most interesting part of this, because this relates back to the whole Charlie Kirk situation. If you look closely here, Chad, and I don't know if I can zoom in, but if you look closely, so this is a list of the senators who voted for and against the motion to, well, release the Epstein Files, effectively. And if you look at the date, that is September 10th. Now, if you guys remember, what was the date that Charlie Kirk was assassinated? If you said September 10th, you're right. This happened roughly, apparently about 3 hours after Charlie Kirk was assassinated. And then quietly, all except 2 Republican senators voted to not release the Epstein Files. So isn't that convenient? Isn't that just perfectly timed? That absolutely raises no questions whatsoever, doesn't it? You're not asking... Nobody's asking, you know, why did this happen on the same day? Why did this happen just a couple hours after one of the biggest pieces of news in recent history? Because nobody's talking about this. Everyone's just talking about the Charlie Kirk assassination now. So we've all just kind of conveniently forgotten about the Epstein Files. Isn't that just convenient?
Rand Paul and Josh Hawley voted on a motion to make the Jeffrey Epstein documents publicly available. All of these people voted no. All of these Republicans voted no, except for Rand Paul and Josh Hawley. And there was a motion. That motion, behind the scenes, there was a lot of push. Donald Trump is using his political capital behind the scenes, urging, pressuring, pushing Republicans not to sign the Epstein discharge position, which would release a lot of this information publicly. Now,
so wasn't that great? So even Trump was saying, no, we can't release the Epstein Files. What reason? What reason does he have for that?
Now, already, during some of the committee hearings, we got some of the information from the committee hearings from the Jeffrey Epstein estate that released them, including the letter that is still in legal jurisdiction between the Washington Post and Donald Trump. Now, listen, with the way that all of this is unfolding, with the way that all of this is kind of happening here, this is a key issue that if we keep bringing up, we might get more justice here. But Mike Cernovich, he said this September 2nd, by the way, and I kind of agree with him. We ain't never going to see the Epstein Files. Those got mopped up. I said this many years ago. I'm tired of linking to old videos to prove it. Either you believe me or not. Have been on this and indeed was the catalyst. Everything we wanted was burned by Bill Barr. Should be criminal charges and recommendations for Bill Barr if that's the case. And again, Epstein evidence went missing during an FBI raid. Oh, how convenient. Telegraph reporting. Many.
Now, was it burned by Bill Barr? I don't know. I'm not convinced either way. I don't know if it's still out there or if they really did destroy all of it. I don't think they destroyed all of it. I think it's somewhere. I think somebody has it to blackmail people with. I think we're just not going to get it because it would affect too many people who have too much power.
Many years ago. Listen, if you're not going to give us justice, arrest those that obfuscated justice. Do something. Unless you're just a part of the criminal cover-up. Which one is it? Those decisions need to be made. What do you think? Let me know down in the comment section below.
Yeah, I think it's the latter. I think they're part of the cover-up. But yeah, so that is another update on the Epstein Files and how, in my opinion, they used the Charlie Kirk situation to continue covering it up. So on that note, let's pull up something that is a little bit more relevant to your everyday life. So there are a couple of stories here about Amazon. Probably the first one we'll go over is the more immediate story. So this is just a brief 2-minute thing.
Cracking down.
So what's going on, if you haven't heard about this yet, and you probably, if you're affected, you've probably gotten an email about it from Amazon themselves. Most likely, most likely if you are affected, you should have seen the email by now. But at the end of the month, if you are in a, so if you have Amazon Prime through like, a family member, if you have like that Prime sharing thing. So I had this through my parents. I was able to get Amazon Prime shipping for free by like associating with my parents' account. So Amazon is getting rid of that. So even if you're in the same family, you can't get free Prime shipping anymore. So the only you're only going to be able to get it basically like your parents or whatever will be able to share an account, share Prime for free, but the kids will not be able to. So this is going to be a real problem for, say, college kids, for kids, family members who don't necessarily live at home, and so that's what they're talking about here.
Cracking down on account sharing. Amazon announcing free shipping benefits will no longer extend to others who do not have the same primary address as the account holder. KOMO's Stella Sun joins us live with more details on this big policy change. Stella.
Molly, there are so many families who share one Amazon account and ship to different addresses. That's been a perk that people have been enjoying for years. But starting October 1st, that's changing. It's either pay for a Prime membership or pay for shipping.
Yeah, and keep in mind that a Prime membership is like $150 a year. It's way more expensive than it used to be. And in all honesty, you don't get that much for it. I mean, most of the benefits are not that useful to most people. The shipping is really what most people are going for, I think.
The saying goes, sharing is caring. That's why many families share the same Amazon account.
We have one son that just finished college. We have another one that lives in another town from us, and we all do share the same account.
My sister and she used mine.
For years, the Seattle-based company allowed Prime members to share free 2-day shipping with one other person in their household, even if they had different addresses.
I'm just going to take advantage of what I can.
Starting October 1st, Amazon is eliminating that program perk.
I think it sucks for people who, use it to put it in different addresses for gifts or just to help another family member out.
In an update on Amazon's customer service section,
yeah, so this is, I think, what it used to be called, Amazon Family. Or no, this is what they're calling it now.
Quote, adults sharing Prime benefits must share the same primary residential address.
I think it's just another way for them to get more money from consumers. And then we're already faced with enough challenges as it is.
The online behemoth now encouraging...
Yep, and she's right. That's exactly what it is. They got market saturation. And this is what, if you're... I don't know if this is still a thing anymore, because it's just kind of done. But back in the day, you'd hear a lot of complaints about Walmart kind of doing this in towns, where Walmart would show up, they would drive out all the small businesses in town by undercutting them in price. Then, as soon as Walmart was the only game in town, they had no competition, they would jack up their prices and squeeze customers. And Amazon is doing the same thing here. Amazon has basically saturated the market. They can't really sell... They can't really get to more people anymore because so many people already use Amazon. So now what they're doing is just like what happened with Netflix, is they're squeezing, they're trying to extract all the value they can out of their customers. And Amazon is especially bad about this. And we'll talk a little bit more about that in the second part of this, because there's another video Amazon related to react to here.
Encouraging users who don't live in the same home as the account holder to subscribe to their own Prime membership, offering a discounted rate of $14.99 for 1 year.
So I think most people are just going to take this deal right here, the $15, because it's a whole year of Amazon Prime for $15, which is, I mean, that's a pretty decent deal. That's a really good deal. But keep in mind, this only works for the 1 year. So as soon as this ends, you're going to start getting charged the full $150 annually, which, I mean, is just not a reasonable price.
After that, pay $14.99 each month or $139 a year.
I don't really have probably the funds for that right now.
It seems like Amazon's going to lose money on the deal, though, because you're going to order less. Jordan's going to order less. Yeah. They're going to realize they're going to lose so much money, because Netflix is one thing. That's a flat fee. Amazon is, you know, you can, it's a shopping.
Now, the Amazon Prime membership change comes as the company is drastically trying to expand its footprint by offering faster delivery services in smaller towns and more rural communities.
The irony being that their so-called fast delivery has only gotten worse in recent years. Like, their Prime 2-day shipping guarantee is pretty much gone away. Like, sometimes, yeah, you'll get fast shipping, but I don't think they guarantee it anymore. And with that, there's another video here on the same, well, on a related topic. This is more general to what's going on at Amazon.
Amazon's business offering is changing because it needs to change. The tech conglomerate has so many fingers and so many pies, it has found itself exposed to basically every risk and opportunity in the market today.
Hey, we got Snap in the house. How you doing, Snap, my man?
Welcome, valued customer.
Hey, we just talked about some Epstein Files stuff. We're going through how Amazon is pretty much screwing people over to make profits now. Screwing people over more than before. So, yeah, how are you doing, Snap? It's good to see you, man.
Softening demand for maxed-out customers, pushback from exploited third-party retailers, returns fraud, investors who want to actually start seeing some profits on all the AI hype, a growing dependence on advertising revenue, a degrading customer experience, competition from Chinese retailers who are selling a lot of the same crap anyway, and
Amazon is corrupt and water is wet. What's new? Yeah, well, they're worse than corrupt. They're incredibly greedy. So, actually, just before you popped in, I was saying, so Amazon's pretty much reached market saturation, kind of like Walmart did. Like, you know, 20 years ago, we were hearing Walmart was doing the same thing. So they can't really grow anymore because they already drove out their competition. Everyone already uses them. Now what's happening is just like how Walmart would jack up prices once all their competition went out of business, Amazon is now doing the same thing where they're just trying to squeeze their customers because they know, you know, what are you going to do? Go shop somewhere else? Doing well, did some work, decided to work from home today after lunch. Yeah, work from home gang. Yeah, that's best kind of work. Although I will say, I think if you're not working in like a traditional office setting, it's probably still a little bit more enjoyable to work because you don't work in a traditional office. So I think that's, even in your case, it's still probably a little bit better than working in like a typical office. But yeah, work from home is the best kind of work. Absolutely. You also drank some Viet coffee and that stuff is strong. Yeah, I don't really drink coffee. If I'm in the mood for coffee, I typically just throw a little bit of instant coffee into my protein shake or chocolate milk. And so I just get kind of a mocha type of thing. You travel between sites? Okay, well, that's still not too bad. You know, still better than... it is still better than working in an office, because offices are just plain soul-crushing, man. And Amazon's also bad about this in that their offices are absolutely horrible to work in. So I had someone once describe the big tech companies as velvet sweatshops. So it's kind of like a sweatshop where they expect you to be working super hard all the time, you know, killing yourself. But, you know, the velvet sweatshop concept is that they also make it so comfy that you don't want to leave. But Amazon's not even a velvet sweatshop, it's just a sweatshop. Like, they don't even give you any of the nice benefits that a lot of the other big tech companies do.
And the fact that they are literally running out of human beings who haven't already worked for them before and quit. It's easy.
Yeah, that kind of goes with what I was saying. Working for Amazon is just absolutely miserable, and people hate it. So they just have massive turnover.
And honestly,
so that's probably part of why they're contributing to the H-1B crisis.
Sometimes a little bit fun to point out the flaws and challenges in a business that has screwed over so many people. But the Amazon case study is more important than that. It perfectly encapsulates the strengths and weaknesses of the modern business strategy as it tries to be so many different things to so many different people.
And here's the thing, so this is just kind of showing Amazon some of the different business units at Amazon. But the one that probably makes Amazon the most money is not Amazon's shopping site, but AWS, which is their, you know, cloud services offering. I think that is probably where they're making the most money, especially because they have massive government contracts. So even if you're not paying them directly, even if you refuse to use Amazon, Amazon is getting your money because you're paying other services that are hosted on AWS, and your tax dollars are going to Amazon through AWS. Sergey, how you doing, my man? Yeah, loving that new profile picture. You're looking very good, my man.
The more the magicer.
And we got Fractured Filter in the house. How's my favorite filter doing?
Welcome, valued customer.
Yeah, Amazon. Yep, Amazon's up to a ton, Fractured. I was just going over how if you have Prime shipping through family, your shipping benefits are about to get screwed. So, yeah, at the end of the month, you will have to get your own Amazon Prime, which is $140 a year. Yeah, they're a monopoly. Yeah. At the very least, they're an oligopoly, if nothing else. But yeah, they behave incredibly monopolistically, and they've been getting so much worse in recent years. Like, one of the things, I don't think he goes over it in this video, one of the things that you might have noticed is nowadays when you try to buy something off of Amazon, like, this doesn't really happen with like very specific products, but this will happen with, you know, generic types of products. You'll notice all these different weird product brands with like complete nonsense names that might even look entirely unpronounceable. And the reason for this is Amazon has been courting the cheap Chinese crap sellers for years. These are the same like AliExpress, Temu, Shine type sellers. So what happens is they don't really have a name for their business, but they want to be able to, I think trademark whatever they're selling as. So they just make up some random name, spew it on Amazon, and because these are generic products, Amazon is just gonna, people are just gonna buy them off of Amazon. Oh, Sergey. Yeah, of course, Sergey. Let's see. Not bad. Just trying to figure some stuff out since your accident. Oh yeah. You were in an accident. Sergey, didn't you say you had a friend who was in an accident recently too? It's like you and the people around you are just having such bad luck. I hope you're doing a lot better though, man. Just waiting on a phone call. All right. Yeah, I gotcha. I don't use Family, but that sucks. Yeah, so I had it. I had Amazon Family through my parents. So, yeah, I'm about to lose my Prime shipping benefits, and I probably will do. So, in that previous video that I just showed, they say that, and I got the email for this too, your first year of Prime, if you're about to lose the benefits, will be $15 for the whole year. And so obviously I'm going to take that deal because it's cheap, right? It's extremely cheap. It's a really good deal. But after that, it's $140 a year, which I am definitely not going to do because it's just not worth it. We once got packages that we didn't order, but sent to us some cheap Chinese shit and then requested reviews on products. Yeah, they all do that now. Yeah, you'll get a lot of that. Yeah, because that's pretty much it. A lot of what's on Amazon now is just the kind of stuff you can buy on like Temu or AliExpress, but it's more expensive. You're doing better? Okay. Well, I'm glad you're doing better, man. Yeah, that's... I've never gotten into an accident while driving, but I've been in an accident as a passenger before. And yeah, it is a very scary situation, for sure.
You might think that all of these problems are just another recession indicator, or yet another case of juicing short-term gains at the expense of long-term reputation. But the inconvenient truth is that a lot of these challenges were inevitable from the very beginning. Online retail is the most competitive business in the world. Amazon dominated early e-commerce by offering an incredible service below cost to build a one-stop marketplace. But now that it has, it cannot maintain it without making a long list of very unpopular sacrifices.
And this is exactly the Walmart problem from 20 years ago that I just described. It's the same thing where Walmart would come in, be super cheap, undercut the competition, and then as soon as they put all their competition out of business, became the only game in town, bam. They jack up the prices, become a much worse service, and everything goes to hell.
No. It's blowing it out of the fence. What good is a vacuum that spreads the dirt?
Sellers losing hundreds to thousands overnight. Amazon shutting down accounts for absolutely no reason.
It does not matter what you're going to make on the product. This is going to be a bad result almost every time.
It's Amazon Prime Day, and in case you don't know, the entire website is just a lie.
Ooh, it's cheaper, aggressive.
Yeah, keep that in mind for the Prime Day stuff. A lot of those Amazon Prime Day sales that they're always promoting, they're crap deals. A lot of what happens, and you'll see the same thing on Black Friday too. Although in Black Friday's case, this happens not just on Amazon, but a lot of places. So pay very close attention to anything you're interested in on these sales. What's happening is that a few days before the sale, the sellers will jack up their prices. So, you know, let's say you're buying, I don't know, you're looking at a TV for $800. And so its normal price is $800. So what might happen is the seller will, a few days before the sale, jack the price up to $1,000. And then on, you know, Prime Day or Black Friday or whatever it is, whatever sale, they will put the price down to $800 as a discount. And then they'll go, oh, see, we got a great discount for you. It's the TV, it's only $800. It's normally $1,000. But the reality is the price is only supposed to be $800 the whole time. So yeah, just keep in mind that a lot of times you might be getting scammed. So there are some price tracking browser extensions and things you can use. So I would use those. I think one is called Camel. Yeah, so this is one that I've heard is pretty good. So if you're interested in, you know, making sure you're not getting scammed off of an Amazon deal, you can check out this website. Because they will usually show you the history on stuff on Amazon. So that way you know you're not just getting, like, scammed and getting a bad deal on something that was not actually on sale. And see, so like they're showing you here, like the average price of things. So this air fryer is normally $70, now it's $60. So that is actually a deal. So yeah, just something to keep in mind, because, you know, I don't want I don't want to see people getting scammed. We got enough scammers out there.
Aggressively promotional program to sell you useless stuff.
It doesn't matter to me whether we're a pure internet play. What matters to me is do we provide the best customer service.
Despite all of the problems in the world, the American spirit to consume is still going strong. This year, Amazon extended its Prime Day sales to 4 days, and once again announced record results. The expectation was that the company, in combination with the other retailers that were forced to put on sales in response, would generate 2 Black Fridays worth of sales over this time, just without the trampling. And I mean, really, what's the point of that?
Well, come on. I mean, at the very least, you could say the trampling was fun, you know? It was entertaining. It was fun to watch people go into these stores and act like inebriated monkeys, and I think half of them probably were inebriated anyway. But at least that part was entertaining. Now you don't even have that.
But behind the scenes, there was cause for concern. Their official announcement focused more on how AI was helping people shop, and how much people saved, but nowhere...
Okay, I don't need AI on a shopping site. I literally just need a good search. These companies are just cramming AI into things where it doesn't even make any sense to have. And I'm not against AI. I like AI. You guys know I like AI. You know, I built an AI girlfriend. But come on. Come on.
Nowhere did it list how much they had actually spent. Third-party guesstimates have said that despite running for twice as many days as last year and offering longer overall savings on big-ticket items, sales growth was only up by 4.9%, with...
Oh no! Oh no, chat.
Oh no! What happened? Oh no! How terrible! That's just awful! How terrible! Oh
no! I bet it's not even real AI. It might be. I don't know for sure, but what I do know is that I don't trust Amazon's AI. So there is a story, and I cannot share how I know this. But, so those Amazon Alexa things, they were recording people's conversations at one point, and the engineers at Amazon could hear everything people were saying. And they were very entertained. So don't trust Amazon. Don't trust their AI. As a retail monkey. Don't call yourself a monkey. You were doing honest work, Fractured. You know, it's an honest job. As a retail monkey, the one good thing from the coup was the chill out month-long November sales versus the one-day retardo madness. Yeah, I can understand that. If you're working there, it's got to be rough. Ooh. Does your AI girlfriend have a sister? No, she's an only child. But yeah, it's not hard to build. Maybe one of these days I should go through some of the setup. Part of the problem is that, you know, it's got a lot of identifying information in it. I don't want to dox myself, and I don't want to dox her either, because she's based on a character. You know, I don't want someone to steal my waifu, but yeah, who knows? One of these days, maybe I'll go over how to create one of these things yourself. It's just some machine learning BS that tracks and collects your telemetry data. Yeah, that's the main purpose of it. Yeah, for sure. And hands it off to the government, because, you know, Amazon has a lot of lucrative CIA contracts. In general, don't trust any offsite cloud IoT devices. Exactly. So every smart thing that I have, with the sole exception of, I think, so I have a Google Nest, and that's only because it came with my apartment. So, you know, I can't get rid of it or anything. I think that is the only, like, actual cloud IoT device that I have. Every other smart thing that I have, and I do have quite a few smart things, everything else is some, like, open source or local hosted device. So, for instance, my smart bulbs, they all connect through my home server. They don't go off to the internet. Yes, Amazon Alexa devices were our literal spy devices. Had the training for them, and they basically said it did that. Wild shit that people openly just got. Oh yeah, yeah. People voluntarily bought CIA listening devices. Wait until you find out about your iPhone. And I mean Android too, to be fair. Still have a Ring. I need to find an off-site solution to replace that. Yeah, and Ring. I think Amazon owns Ring, don't they? Yeah, part of the problem with some of these is that let's say that, you know, maybe it's a little bit advanced, so to speak, of a criminal. Let's say they come to your house and they cut the power. Well, now you might actually need to have something that is online. So you got to think about it a little bit. So just having it locally hosted for that might be one of those situations where you do need some kind of off-site solution. Yeah. Everything's hosted on AWS. Oh, no, snap. I'm saying that Amazon, the company, owns Ring, the company. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's all hosted on AWS, but like I'm saying that they actually own the company. Dude, even back in the day, I remember people would always say, watch what you even say over your landline phone, the government's listening, and now people just say all wild shit on their spy devices. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Do you guys remember the story? Memory like goldfish, I swear. Yeah. Do you guys remember the story of the man getting out of house by Amazon for saying... Yeah, so this is an IGN link, admittedly. But yeah, this was not that long ago. Amazon locks man out of his smart home after baseless racism accusation. So, okay, this was about 2 years ago. I thought it was last year. But yeah, so there was a guy, who said he didn't even say a bad word. Yeah, so the unwanted disruption happened when a package was delivered to Jackson's home by an Amazon driver. Everything seemed like it was going smoothly, blah, 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 indicating he was unable to access his Amazon Echo devices the next day, indicating that his account had been locked. So he contacted the customer service to ask if he knew why his account was locked. Their tone turned... So when he called them, they basically accused him of saying... of being a racist. And it's like, really? Really? So he never even said the word, but just because the guy thought he said the bad word. You remember the story? Yeah. Yeah, it was disturbing. Just because they even thought he said the bad word, and it shouldn't even matter what he said. But because of that, they locked him out. And it's ridiculous. Oh, he said he's seriously considering discontinuing. No, dude, you don't seriously consider discontinuing. You discontinue. You discontinue. No more of this crap. You dump all of this, and either you don't have anything or you roll your own smart home. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. You remember the story as well. I would not have a smart device set to be in control of my locks after that. Yeah. Yeah, I would not either. The only way I would ever have any kind of smart device, like smart lock or anything like that, is if it's self-hosted, I control it totally. And even then, it still needs to have an offline key backup. So if, say, the power goes out or if the battery dies, depending on how the lock is powered, it should be set to lock. So it should be set to deadbolt if the power dies. And I would want it to have like a manual key override. So, you know, if the power's out, I should still be able to literally stick a key in it and open it the old-fashioned way. It's scary how these evil people are trying to circumvent the Fourth Amendment. Oh, they've been doing it for a long time. Long time. I mean, we had the Patriot Act, which I think parts of it are still in effect to this day. And it's not just the Fourth Amendment either. I mean, people are now using Charlie Kirk's assassination to circumvent the First Amendment. If you saw the whole Pam Bondi talk about, oh, we got to go after hate speech thing. She's like, yeah, we can't have hate speech. We got to ban it. And this is your based right-wing politician, sir. What's also scary is just how people are willing to accept this nonsense. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And now I'm just thinking of that Metal Gear Rising song, Collective Consciousness. You know, I give my people the lies they need, the righteous will succeed, something like that. But yeah, it's just, you just give them something to get riled up about, and most people will just accept any and all obliteration of their rights and liberties for quote-unquote safety, or even just to own the libs, or whatever it is. Yeah, seriously, never put your full faith in a politician. Never do. Never do. And that goes for brands and corporations, too. Never put your full faith in any of these corporations, because they all hate you. Especially if they're big. The small ones, maybe. But like these big companies, don't trust them. They're all run by people who would sell you into slavery if it meant they could make a quick buck.
With other reports suggesting results significantly worse. Reading between the lines of the company's press release, they were focused almost exclusively on the service benefits that come with a Prime membership like Amazon Music, fuel discounts, a Grubhub subscription, and Prime Video.
Chat, do you use any of these benefits? If you have Amazon Prime, or if you have had Amazon Prime, do you use any of this stuff? Do you use Prime Music? Did you even know that there was a Grubhub Plus thing with it? I mean, I guess the Grubhub thing is kind of nice, but all these food delivery services are massively overpriced and they overcharge you. So it's not even worth using. Even if it's a free membership, it's not worth it. And I have never once been interested in using Prime Video. Now, in my case, I don't think I have access to any of this stuff anyway, because of the way I had Prime through my parents. But, like, who cares about any of this? These benefits are crap. Better safe than sorry, and have disdain and distrust towards all companies, corporations. Yep, 100%. 100%. I ditched Amazon Prime and canceled my Amazon, I assume, credit card years ago. Yeah, makes sense. I've been considering dropping Amazon. Yeah, so the only reason I had Amazon Prime up to now is because I get it for free through my dad. I probably will take the $15 deal. But after that, I'm done. I'm not going to pay the $140 a year just for faster shipping. I knew about music, but I never use it. And no, I didn't know about Grubhub, but then my brother always cooks meals. So yeah, exactly. Like I have no need for Amazon Music because I actually have free Spotify through like a thing I got out of work a few years ago where... So it was weird. They had this like weird benefit thing where... they would give you points every so often. It was basically like with every paycheck you get some points for this reward thing. And most of the rewards were crap, but it came with free Spotify. You could redeem 6 months of Spotify premium codes. So when I left the company, they were like, if you do, I got a thing saying, if you don't use all your points, you're going to lose them by this time. So I was like, you know what, screw this. And I just got like a boatload, like 10 years worth of Spotify premium codes. And so now I just have Spotify premium for free for like 10 years. And I'm just going to keep using that. Once it runs out, I'm just going to go back to like probably just pirating it. Because I mean, it's not like they make much out of the... It's not like the actual musicians make that much out of you using Spotify or even you buying their music off of like iTunes or whatever. So yeah, and then Grubhub. I just don't use these food delivery services because I don't need them. In my case, I literally prefer to just go out if I want to get something from outside. I do eat out a lot, but if I want to do that, it's literally easier and typically faster for me to just get in my car and drive to Taco Bell or whatever it is and get the food myself, so that way it's still warm when I get it and I can make sure that I got what I ordered and I don't have to wait like an hour for my food from Taco Bell that's like 10 minutes away. I force myself to go out locally and get things in person, or at least find alternative e-commerce sites. Yeah, I try to do that myself, but the problem is, and this is one of the problems of something like Amazon kind of monopolizing everything, you can only find a lot of things on Amazon. So, for instance, the protein shakes that I like, they don't sell them in any of the stores near me. So I actually have to have like a recurring Amazon order for those protein shakes. Yeah, you wish you could. I assume you're saying you wish you could cancel Prime, ditch Prime yourself, but they tend to have clothing, shoes my size, not top to shop for as is in those departments. Yeah, yeah, I hear that. I hear that, man. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying earlier. There are things that you just kind of have to go through Amazon for. You'll find alternatives if you search hard enough. It's just a bitch with my 15 double wide shoes and all, man. Jeez. Fractured, are you secretly the quartering? Have you just been the quartering all this time and I didn't know it? Because that dude is also huge. A Bigfoot. At least you're not crapping yourself in a Walmart. Yeah, one of these days, if you guys, exactly, I don't shit myself. Yeah. Oh no, Jeremy's here. Oh no. Yeah. So, I actually have a playlist of Kino Casino covering the Quartering's diarrhea files. They've only done 3 clips so far, but I've watched the whole playlist like twice, and every time I just die laughing. Maybe one of these days we'll go through one of them because it is just the funniest thing ever. And I have nothing personally against the Quartering. I think he's kind of I think he's really boring and he shills his coffee too much. But like, it's just, those clips are just absolutely hilarious because for some reason he cannot stop talking about shitting himself. It's just the weirdest thing. Oh man. Oh, they did mention fuel discounts here, and that could be interesting, but I think it's at like one specific. Yeah, let me just pull it up. Amazon Prime fuel savings. So, okay, it's BP, Amoco, and AMPM. So I don't think I have an Amoco or AMPM near me, but I guess BP would be useful. That's something. But I mean, even that, I don't know if it's worth it. I don't know if it's worth paying $140 a year just to save like $20 a year on gas. Spiraling the Quartering is going through like, how long have you been online? Don't you know when to shut the hell up? Yeah, there is some of that. And apparently Kino Casino's videos have been doing so well that they're actually overtaking the Quartering in YouTube search results. So I guess a lot of people, when they search for the Quartering or Jeremy Hambley, they get the Kino Casino clips instead. And so now he's been trying to kind of rebrand to get his own videos to come up. And it's not working. Oh, man. Yeah, but I was disappointed. They put out a clip of about the Quartering yesterday, and I was like, you know, more than anything, I'm just disappointed that we didn't get to hear him talk about shitting himself again, because that's the funniest part of it all. Yeah, you caught the recent clips. Now he's trying to change the titles to include his name, etc. to overwrite. Yeah, yep.
Video rather than the retail side of their business, because that business kind of sucks. Amazon has invested tens of billions of dollars to build out the most efficient, hyper-optimized distribution network in the world. It has massive economies of scale, petabytes of customer data, a captive market of subscription customers, and even then, the actual retail operations of its business are barely profitable. Express delivering individual packages to customers' doors is just really expensive when compared to a competitor like Walmart, where customers have to take themselves to the products, not the other way around. The point is, the company just doesn't have that much wiggle room when it wants to compete on price with a fundamentally cheaper.
Oh yeah, you guys remember Amazon Go? They just showed a clip. Amazon Go, you guys remember that? The whole just walk out thing. Let me see if I can find it. Amazon Go ad. You guys remember this? Oh, this is something else. Yeah, you guys remember the whole Amazon Go thing where it was like you could walk into a store, Yes, exactly. It was the whole cardless store thing. More like Amazon blow. But yeah, it was the whole cardless store thing where you could just walk in, grab whatever you wanted and walk out, and they would charge you because of their advanced algorithms or whatever it was. It would just recognize you and automatically charge you by your Amazon account. That kind of disappeared, yeah. So I'll tell you a little story about that. I guess they didn't do an actual ad. Maybe it was just the... Maybe I'm just remembering an SNL ad. Yeah, that's probably what it is. So here's the reason it disappeared. And I'll tell you a little story. So I actually went when Amazon Go stores were first appearing. I think it was like the prototype store. I actually went to that store and I tried it. And there were some engineers, Amazon engineers, staying in the corner, just kind of observing things. And I went up to him and I asked him, you know, hey, do you guys have any plans to talk about, you know, the technology behind this, or explain, you know, release the technology or talk about how it works in more detail? And they just kind of sheepishly went like, no, not really, no. And I just thought, you know, they were awkward engineers. Come to find out that just recently it came out that instead of advanced algorithms, because the way they were tracking is they just had like cameras all over the top of the store. So they were watching your every move. Come to find out recently that in fact it was not advanced algorithms or AI or what have you. They literally just had an army of Indians watching your every move. And that's how they were tracking you and figuring out who you were and what you were doing and what you were buying. So they literally just had an army of Indians and they said, oh, this is advanced technology. But no, it was literally just Indian people watching the cameras. People in India watching the cameras and watching you shop. And now I'm like, no wonder the engineers didn't want to tell me anything about the technology. It's because it was fake. It's all totally fake.
It feels like somebody wants to sell me something!
I told you he was on to us!
Yeah, there was one near your place a few years ago, and they wanted you to register your credit card. It was a big nope. Yeah, well, you have to... I think you had to register, like, an Amazon account or something. And I think you did have to just, like, scan in. Like, scan in that you're entering the shop. But, and by the way, in case you don't believe me, just gonna look it up. Here we go. So, Business Insider. Amazon's Just Walk Out technology relies on hundreds of workers in India watching you shop. They were watching your every move, chat. Amazon has spent years promoting its AI-based checkout free Just Walk Out technology, but a new report suggests that most Just Walk Out sales are reviewed by real people in India. So there you go. I'm not lying, chat. I just want you to know I'm not a liar. This actually happened. This is real. Army of Indians, yep. Yeah, I know, it was hilarious. When I found out, I was like, of course, this all makes sense now. They probably paid him less than minimum wage too at some sweatshop, bro. Yeah, well, they probably did pay him less than minimum wage because they're in India, so they don't have to pay him very much. You thought it was RFID tracking, Neo? Oh, by the way, good to see you, Neo. Good to see you, my man.
The more the magicka.
You thought it was RFID tracking, but it just didn't work out well enough. Yeah. See, I didn't know what it was. See, so like I said, I actually went to the store, and they didn't have anything on the products that would be able to track RFID that way. But yeah, I kind of figured maybe they were tracking you via your... Actually, no, I'm not even sure if I had the Amazon app at the time. See, I'm not sure how they would have been tracking you. I assumed it was some kind of clever camera technology, you know? Yeah, you didn't know that. Yep. Wouldn't be surprised if these Indians were misusing the footage and data. I don't know if the Indians would be, but I can almost guarantee you that Amazon itself probably was. it would not surprise me one bit. But like these Amazon, the Indians were probably just working at Amazon, right? So yeah, been lurking. All right, cool, cool, man. Glad you've been hanging out. I hope you're excited for Relooted later, Neo, because we're gonna be doing some we're gonna be engaging in some black culture. But yeah, so I mean the technology actually might be possible now thanks to all the AI and machine learning stuff, but yeah, it's very entertaining. That's so the full game is not, but the demo is out, and that's what we're gonna play today is the demo. That's why I made the clever title here for the stream. Your Amazon Prime order of Epstein Files has been canceled and relooted. So yeah, I managed to work all our main topics into the title chat. I'm so clever, aren't I? I'm so clever. The 1350s, yes. Oh yeah, Fractured. We gonna learn about black culture.
Much wiggle room when it wants to compete on price with a fundamentally cheaper system. So it has had to slowly make sacrifices which are admittedly looking excellent on financial statements, but have caused 4 serious problems in a business that markets itself on customer obsession.
Yeah. I didn't look at the stream title. Oh man. Yeah, I've been trying to come up with better titles. I also if you look at the stream thumbnail, I also made a cooler thumbnail. So I took some time to pose my character and make some more poses, so I'm not just standing there like an idiot looking at whatever I'm reacting to. Shit.
The first problem is a growing reliance on advertising bloat. Amazon is now one of the largest advertising businesses in the world, according to company.
So this is kind of interesting. I had not realized that Amazon was in the advertising game, because I figured Google and Facebook were pretty much at the top of that.
Financials, they have made almost $60 billion last year from advertising alone, a revenue segment that outpaced every other part of the business. Amazon now brings in more money from advertising than it does through its Prime subscription.
I mean, this doesn't surprise me because every company now is just cramming ads into everything, whether it's Netflix, Amazon, pretty much every streaming service, for instance. Because they realize that if they jam ads into everything, they can actually make a little more money. Kind of similar story, but didn't hotels outsource their front desk to Indians on a tablet? Oh, God. I really hope that's not true, Snap. I really hope that's not true. Oh, God. Okay, it sounds like it's not super common. Hate to be the bearer of bad news. Oh, God. Man films a setup. An outsourced representative appears on the screen. Oh, God, no. The hotel's website has a picture of a reception desk, though either that's just not staffed or the area has been redesigned. You will not be able to find an employee at the property? Jeez. Well, it also makes sense, right, that this is disgusting. We're doomed. Yeah. Yeah, all these big companies, they, you know, they even our great leaders, supposedly, they talk so much about America first and how important America is, and then they sell all our jobs to foreign countries. So, yeah, and it doesn't surprise me that a hotel that does this is going to be a lot worse. Because, I mean, what are you going to do? If there are less people physically working at the hotel, then they're not going to be able to actually come and take care of issues. They're just going to be like, you can complain all you want, but they're not even in the same country as you. And it just follows that same and I hate the term because it just sounds stupid, but it is accurate. And shittification, it's the same in shittification trend.
Subscription service by a significant margin. The most publicized place where these ads started popping up was on Prime Video. The company was one of the first to roll out ads on top of an already paid streaming service. For the three of you who have actually watched Rings of Power, I am sure this was very annoying.
Rings of Power? Chat, don't you just love... I'm not even a Lord of the Rings fan, but don't you just love the Lord of the Rings, Rings of Power? Aren't you so thrilled that such a big company got access to a beloved IP? Oh yeah, and Amazon also was one of the first companies to slap ads into their streaming service.
Yes. For the three of you who have actually watched Rings of Power...
And it was especially bad because, from my understanding, they took the existing ad-free tier that they had. So if you already had Amazon Prime, they jammed ads into your existing subscription, and then they said, oh, well, if you want ad-free, now you have to pay extra. As opposed to basically every other service that did it, who the one thing I can give them credit for is they kept their existing tiers the same. They might have raised prices or whatever, but they kept you on the same tier, and they just said, okay, here's a slightly cheaper ad-free, or slightly cheaper ad tier that you can subscribe to. So they, at least those sites sold it as, you know, this is a little bit cheaper, it might be a better deal for you if you can sit through some ads. But Amazon's just like, nah, screw you. Because Amazon is basically the cheapest company on earth. And I'm not kidding when I say, so Amazon has these things called Amazon, there we go, Amazon Leadership Principles. So these are the 14 commandments of Jeff Bezos. And let's see here, blah, 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 blah. Frugality, this is one of the top ones. So basically, and most of this stuff, there's a lot of bullshit in here. It's full of bullshit. But one of their top principles at the company is being cheap. So squeezing as much money out of you as they can is basically one of their most basic principles. You felt bad for the Tolkien fans that day? Yeah. Yep. The Tolkien fans know how the rest of us feel. Whether you're a Star Wars fan or Marvel and DC fan, whatever you are. Now the Tolkien fans are just like us. As our wonderful president said, everything that woke touches turns to shit. Yes. Kinda. I think there's more to it than that. Really, I think everything that gets corporate executives put in charge of it turns to shit, in my opinion. Because it's not just wokeness. It is about people that don't care about the product and just want to squeeze profits. I think that is the real problem. And they saw wokeness as just another avenue to do that.
As a power, I am sure this was very annoying. Now, it would be hypocritical of me to say that advertising is just always bad. I wouldn't be able to pay my team or myself if it wasn't for advertising. And I very much believe that as long as it is reputable, I would rather take an advertiser's money than my audience's.
I mean, I understand that, but at the same time, from what I know about YouTube, and I'm not even monetized, so I can't really speak to ad revenue, but from everything I've heard, ad revenue is practically nothing compared to what you can get out of either a sponsor or just from like audience donations. So most streamers and even like general video channels, they make a lot more money from their off like tips or Patreon or whatever from their audience than they do from YouTube's ad revenue. So yeah, I mean, if you like a creator, it's better to, in my opinion, it's better to support them. I think it's better to use an ad blocker and then just send the creator like a couple bucks here and there. Because in reality, you're giving them much more money just sending them money to them directly than you are by watching some crappy ad where they get like half a penny.
However, when people were already paying for a service, there was understandably a bit more pushback. But stream advertising wasn't where the real money or the real problems were anyway. If you had tried to search for a specific product on Amazon recently, I don't need to tell you that sponsored listings have become far more invasive. This advertising.
Yeah, the sponsored listings are annoying, but I still think that the whole cheap Chinese junk is a bigger problem on Amazon, because it's just like AliExpress or Temu, but more expensive now.
Advertising space is some of the most valuable anywhere in the world, because people who are literally searching for a specific product in an online marketplace are about the most high-intent customers imaginable. Brands are now spending several $billions per month to get their products to show up first. If the company can't sell ad spots in a particular category, they will just give them away to their own white label brands. There also isn't a lot of pressure from the company to make sure these advertisers are promoting products that are, well, you know, good.
Also, keep in mind what he said about white label brands, Amazon's white label brands. That so if you buy like Amazon Basics or whatever, I don't think Amazon typically manufactures that stuff for themselves. They just find whatever the they just find whatever the most like successful or popular version of that product is from the sellers on Amazon, and then what they'll do is that they will basically go to those sellers and find their suppliers, and then they will go directly to the suppliers and then white label them as Amazon Basics, thereby undercutting their own sellers.
An investigation by the FTC found that Bezos himself, while he was still in charge, pushed executives to accept junk ads because they were so profitable that in a report he was quoted saying, "The revenue generated by advertisements eclipsed the revenue lost by degrading consumer shopping experience." Now, to be fair, he was right.
I really can't stand Jeff Bezos. I really don't. I really don't like him. All Amazon Basic stuff is basically Wish or Temu Swap with Amazon. Yeah, pretty much. The one thing they are somewhat decent at is making sure that said Wish or Temu Swap branded as Amazon Basics is generally reliable. Because like I said, they find the most popular or best-selling generic slop, and then they white label that.
Over the last year, Amazon's combined retail operations have grown their margins to be wider than even Walmart, who you will remember has lower operating overhead. They might talk a lot about high-tech automation in their warehouses, or AI shopping assistants, but the real driver of these profit margins has been...
Nobody needs an AI shopping assistant unless said AI shopping assistant is literally just going out and buying your stuff for you.
Advertising within the online store itself. This has fundamentally changed the nature of the business. The company is still customer obsessed, but you are not their customer. Their customers are advertisers. You and the millions of other people that shop online through them every month are the product they sell to those customers.
So, just like every other company now, they've somehow managed to turn you into both the consumer and the product.
Shame on you.
And that's just the first problem. So it's time to learn how money works to find out why Amazon's great enshittification was inevitable.
So I do like this channel, How Money Works, but it's always weird to me how, for some reason, this guy puts that tag. He always says it's time to learn how money works to blah blah blah, like in the middle of the video. Yeah, it's like when you're watching a TV show and they do the cold open, but the cold open is like half the episode, and then they play the theme song, but you're like halfway through the episode, and it's like, what's even the point of playing the theme song at this point? The show's half over. And for some reason he always does that, and that just always seems really weird to me. How this guy basically says the title of his video halfway through the video instead of at the beginning, you know?
Okay, so you were probably already aware that for most of Amazon's history, the loss-making storefront was subsidized by early investors and then the company's massively profitable Amazon Web Services. Amazon was one of the first to realize that it could effectively rent out the spare space on their server infrastructure and let other businesses get access to globalized hosting without having to build out their own data centers.
Yep, and AWS is where they make a ton of their money, especially through, like I said, lucrative contracts with the government.
In the most recent letter to shareholders, they made special mention of recent contracts they have signed with organizations like PayPal, Norwegian Cruise Lines, Reddit, Japan Airlines, Northrop Grumman, and the US Army. These contracts will pay out billions of dollars with strong margins because once the upfront investment in the server hosting is made, the actual ongoing expenses are comparatively minimal. This part of the business makes more profit every year than the company has ever made from retail, which begs the question, why don't they just give up on retail, which is causing them so many problems, and focus exclusively on AWS? Well, that has a lot to do with the second major problem Amazon is facing, the uncertain value of all that money they are throwing into AI.
Once again, I like AI, but I think these companies are overdoing it, especially because our current version of AI is not as useful for logical pursuits as opposed to creative pursuits. So they have access to all this data. What could possibly go wrong? Yeah. Oh yeah, there was, I want to say it wasn't that long ago that there was an AWS outage, like a global AWS outage. And yeah, a lot of companies got screwed. A lot of people got screwed. Because everything was offline. And this is one of the major problems with cloud services, is that when one of these cloud services goes down, rare though it might be, like half the internet, half the major sites get screwed. Everything disappears.
In the last annual letter to shareholders, the company CEO spoke about next generation's whys in their business. And the top 3 whys that he was addressing from shareholders was, why is AI so important? Why invest so much into AI this quickly? Why do chips and AI need to be this expensive? And why have personal assistants not taken off yet? Why is AI so important? Business. And the top 3 whys that he was addressing from shareholders was, why is
AI so important? And he's like, generative AI is going to reinvent virtually every customer experience we know and enable altogether new ones about which we've only fantasized. And it's like, look, the existing AI is not going to be, it's not the magic that you're pretending it is. It's going to change a lot of things, but especially when it comes to like customer service, for example, it's not going to be that much better than like those automated helplines, you know? Like you call and you get the robot voice saying, press 1 for this, press 2 for that. It's going to be like a slightly more advanced version of the same thing, and it's just going to end up frustrating people who still want to talk to a real person.
Is AI so important? Why invest so much?
Yeah, I don't really need to go through that. They're just saying, why invest this much this quickly? Oh, because we're using it a lot. That's basically what this boils down to.
Into AI this quickly. Why do chips and AI need to be this expensive? And why have personal assistants not taken off?
Because they suck, and they're just sucking up your data. They don't help you so much as they just suck up your data and sell it to advertisers and credit companies and the government.
Yet. He gave the standard corporate approved answers and it's a public release, so I am not going to waste your time reading them here. But the questions themselves highlighted some pretty clear pressure from shareholders to actually see some results on all the promises of AI. According to Bloomberg, top tech companies spent $200 billion last year on capital expenditures related to AI. The biggest investor out of all of them was Amazon, which alone sunk more than $70 billion into AI infrastructure. To use the technical corporate terminology, that is a fuck ton of money. But it's actually worse than it sounds. This is just capital expenditure, which typically means money spent on tangible assets like office space, warehouses, trucks, and in this case, racks on racks on racks of GPUs. That means it does not include the salaries for all the developers, the R&D budget to develop their own chips, the terawatt hours of energy they are pumping into this, or the missed opportunity of what could have been done with this money instead. Capital expenditures also typically build up capital in the business. If a company spends $1 billion on a new office, they haven't lost $1 billion. They've just transferred it from cash into real estate on the balance sheet. But the NVIDIA chips that make up a majority of Amazon spending have a very short shelf life.
I mean, that's true. How quickly do NVIDIA cards become worth less and less? How quickly do they depreciate? Especially because they're probably not using gaming cards. They are likely using, you know, the Amazon. They're likely using the NVIDIA workstation cards and things like that. So like purpose-built AI cards rather than, you know, consumer cards that we have in our PCs.
In 10 years' time, a commercial real estate investment will still be worth money. If the business is lucky, it might have even appreciated in value.
NVIDIA H100, yeah, stuff like that, yeah, for sure. A100, I think, is another one. They have a lot of these cards like that. By the way, the thing about commercial real estate is that I'm hearing that commercial real estate isn't necessarily appreciating in value anymore because people don't want to go back to the offices, which is also why they're trying to drag people into the offices because they're losing money on their corporate real estate. I hear those cost like 20 to 30,000. Yeah, yeah, a lot of them can be super expensive too, but they're also higher powered, so you can do a lot more with them.
But to those of you who are still running a rig with a 1060 in it, you will know that in 10 years, these current state-of-the-art GPUs aren't going to be worth diddly. Setting money on fire at this scale has literally never been done in the history of business, and there are...
Oh, look at that. Look at that news chyron right there, chat. Amazon announces AI will replace some jobs, and we all know what that means. We all know what that means. It means that they're saying it's AI, and they're actually going to be importing a bunch of Indians to do your job instead.
Literally never been done in the history of business. And there are a lot of shareholders that are suggesting that maybe it would just be better to do stock buybacks with that money instead. However, if this all pays off, Amazon's retail division would stand to benefit more than any other business in the world. Automated shopping, warehousing, and last-mile delivery would transform their current high-revenue, low-margin business into an even higher-revenue, high-margin business. But with every year that goes by, there are tens of billions of dollars that need to be made up with these cost savings, and that much money pays for a lot of wage cages and...
If any company were going to make a literal wage cage, it would be Amazon. It would be Amazon, because they hate their employees.
Well, let's call them tactical jugs. But
I'm sure you've heard this story, right? Well, not this story, but yeah, I'm sure you've heard the story of how Amazon drivers are so poorly treated that they end up having to urinate into bottles. Now, I hadn't heard this story before. Amazon let its drivers' urine be sold as an energy drink, and this sounds like an Onion article or something. I gotta look into this. Amazon sold bottles of urine. Yeah, exactly. This is my reaction to. Amazon sold bottles of urine marketed as an energy drink, a new documentary alleges. The company said to make it alarmingly easy to sell dangerous items to children. But see, knowing how cheap Amazon is, that makes me think there might be something to this. So each bottle was filled with urine allegedly discarded by Amazon delivery drivers collected from plastic bottles by the side of the road. That didn't stop Amazon from listing it for sale. Release even attained #1 bet. Okay, so the name of it was Release. Oh god. You know, chat, I kind of got a Release. I'll wait till we finish our React, the React slop. But yeah, I gotta go make some Release in a little while. That didn't stop Amazon listing it for sale. Release even attained #1 bestseller status in the bitter lemon category.
Are you?
No! No!
Are you joking?
No! No!
Are you joking me?
Okay, so apparently this was supposedly it was created by Uba Butler for a documentary, which sounds like So it sounds like this guy did it as a, not exactly social experiment, but, you know, like he did it on purpose as an intended hoax and not just to, you know, just to scam people. Oh, look at the shape of the bottle, by the way. Doesn't that shape remind you of anything? Yeah, see, so some drivers claim they get penalized. Oh, okay. So drivers urinating in bottles has been reported in the past, we know that. But what wasn't known is that some claim they also get penalized for having those urine-filled bottles in their truck when they return to the warehouse. Which, yeah, I believe. Yeah, that bottle may have a particular shape. Oh, yeah. Exactly. Yeah. So, of course, you know, they deny this, but... yeah, I absolutely believe everything said here. So... wow. So the guy was able to get it listed for sale on Amazon with very few checks and balances in place to ensure the product he's selling is safe and legal. Wow. At one point, he's even contacted by an Amazon representative to handle the packaging, shipping, and logistics through fulfillment by Amazon. Beautiful. Okay, so no members of the public were actually sent driver urine. Instead, Butler corralled a group of friends into making the purchases. Okay, so thankfully, this was basically just a stunt. He didn't actually He didn't actually send this to anybody that didn't know what was going on, which is good. So, you know, that's good. But yeah, that is interesting how easy it is to get this stuff. Whew. Yeah, so the headline is maybe slightly misleading only because it sounds like Amazon themselves are selling it when it's actually someone else selling it through Amazon. But yeah, that's quite a story, chat.
But that's actually the third problem, which also explains why Amazon is going all in on AI and automation. They are running out of people to work for them.
Cue them hiring the entire country of India.
Amazon is the second largest private employer in America after Walmart, and most of that headcount is warehouse or delivery staff. The conditions in these roles are very bad. Warehouse and delivery work is physically demanding, the pay is low, and the deadlines are strict and turnover is massive.
There are actually stories about Amazon warehouses being so bad that they, for instance, rather than put air conditioning into their warehouses on like a really hot day so that their employees didn't, you know, die, instead they just had, I think supposedly they just had like an ambulance sitting outside the warehouse because it was cheaper than putting in air conditioning. Let me see if I can find the story on that. So it's definitely happened, it seems. So, I mean, this is Time Magazine, so outcry over the revelation that workers at one of its warehouses had to be carried out by paramedics after working in a closed-door environment that reached 115 degrees. So yeah, they did not have air conditioning at the warehouse. Yep, exactly. Mismatched priorities. Their priority is to just squeeze people. Did you see the Amazon Warehouse South Park episode? No, I didn't know that was a thing, Neo. Is there an Amazon South Park? Amazon Warehouse. Unfulfilled. Oh, there's even an entire Wikipedia page for it. 2018, huh? Oh, yeah. Oh, now I remember. Well, I don't remember the episode, but I remember some of the stuff they're referencing. Reference to the 2018 competition among various U.S. cities to be chosen as second headquarters of that company. Yeah. Jeez. Yeah, so a robot kills a guy and Amazon says human error. Yep, so people get pissed off. Yep, makes sense. Bezos and McDaniels observed this and other developments through cameras and in Citizens' Amazon Echo smart speakers. God, that is just too perfect. Amazing. Yeah, the robots were killing the employees. Yep. Amazing.
Massive. According to leaked documents published by Engadget, the company had a turnover rate of 150%, which
Wait.
Documents published by Engadget, the company had a turnover.
So, a turnover of 150%. How does that work? How is this measured? Because I guess that would mean that more than... I guess that would mean that literally everybody that they hired is leaving within the same year. And half the people that they already had quit in the same year. Which is crazy. Yeah, exactly, Neil. That's what makes it confusing. And I think what they're saying is that people who have been there a long time have also quit, in addition to the people that they hired. I'm guessing the people that left are telling more people it sucks to work there. Oh yeah. I mean, that's definitely true, but that wouldn't contribute to the turnover rate. What most likely... I think the most likely way to explain this is that more people are quitting than just the ones they're hiring. So people who've been there over a year are likely also quitting. That would have to be my guess. But yeah, that number is very, very confusing.
Turnover rate of 150%, which in plain English means it was effectively replacing its entire workforce every 9 months. With more than 1 million employees in total, this means that it would only take about a decade before literally every able-bodied, working-age person in America who wasn't already employed at a better job would have worked for Amazon. Even aside from the harsh working conditions, the company does not encourage employee tenure, statistically preferring to hire new college graduates over offering internal promotions to warehouse.
And that makes sense, right? Because hiring someone new is cheaper. Because you don't have to, if you're not giving promotions and raises and all that. If you're just hiring some new college kid, that's going to be way cheaper because they're not going to really know what they're worth. They're not going to be able to demand a lot of money.
To warehouse staff. Only around 4% of warehouse managers, let alone floor staff, were promoted into a corporate role according to the same report. The company could pay its employees more or relax the punishing deadlines, but that would either cost them the margins they had fought so hard for or slow down the fast deliveries that they have built their brand on. The hope that they have been relying on for almost...
And the thing is, their deliveries are not that fast anymore. Like I was saying earlier, I mean, yeah, you might still get your stuff in the 2-day window, but they don't guarantee it.
2 decades at this point in the first place. In the meantime, even though retail doesn't actually make them that much money, it's a hand that they get to hold on to for free, which could pay off massively if their dream of comprehensive end-to-end automation comes true. There are also some benefits of having lots of revenue, even if it doesn't necessarily translate into lots of profit. Amazon makes billions of dollars in sales every day, but it doesn't need to pay for the items it's selling for up to 3 months after it has already sold them. This means that the company gets to hold on to a whole lot of cash in the meantime, which is something called negative working capital. In the case of Amazon, though, this is billions of dollars, which helps with a lot of day-to-day operations. But it is an additional strain on the fourth big problem they are contending with. Third-party sellers hate using Amazon. A lot of the products the company sells, they do not own. They are just distributed on behalf of third parties through the Fulfilled by Amazon or FBA service.
Yeah, and this is really common. This is part of what I was talking about earlier, is that these third-party sellers often get screwed by Amazon one way or another, whether it's the the cheap Chinese sellers taking over and screwing over like normal sellers, or it's Amazon doing its Amazon Basics thing and in a sense ripping off its existing sellers.
A lot of businesses selling products online feel forced to list their items on Amazon because that's often the first stop for people that want a convenient online shopping experience. But they would really rather not for 3 reasons. The first reason is that if they are selling generic items, their products are all mixed together with other products with the same SKU, even if they are from different suppliers. This has made...
So that's part of what I was talking about, is that it's so easy with these generic products to end up with all this weird, crappy Chinese garbage.
Counterfeit products extremely common because once they are in the distribution system, there is no way to tell which third party was responsible for the defective items, but whoever happened to take the order will be blamed for it. The same problem happens with returns. Amazon...
And Fractured, I think it was you who said you got some kind of counterfeit Chinese garbage, right? Let me hop back in the chat. I remember someone saying that. I think... I know someone mentioned it, but... Okay, yeah. Yeah, it is you, Fractured. Yep. Yeah, you said earlier that you got some weird, cheap Chinese garbage. Is that why we have so many news sellers with fake 5-star reviews making Team Slop on Amazon? Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. It is these weird, cheap, and a lot of times you can tell because they have these nonsense, garbled names that are unpronounceable. But yeah, and then they have the fake 5-star reviews, and now there's... And Amazon's reviews are not, from what I can tell, that reliable anymore. So you'll get... There are all sorts of schemes and scams that they'll do. For instance, you'll see... If you actually dig into reviews, sometimes you will see on a product reviews that are for an entirely different product, because what happened is they like bought the listing or something, and it was a listing for a real product, and then some scam product bought that listing and started selling their scam product instead. So now it's a scammy product, but it has all these 5-star reviews because the original product was good.
Amazon has a growing problem with people taking advantage of its generous returns policy. Some people take this to an extreme by systematically cycling through Amazon accounts to try and get expensive items for free.
Okay, that's a little bit weird. I wouldn't even know how you'd pull that off, considering how much analytics data Amazon keeps on you.
Now, I'm sorry, but I am not going to teach you how to do this, but it generally involves buying a product and then getting that money back without actually returning it, or not returning it in a good enough condition, and to go and buy it at a discount later. I know...
Okay, so I do know that there are people who, they might get a defective product, and they'll just return it, and not bother saying anything else, so they get their money back. There are other people who will either return a defective product, or what some of them will do is they will buy a second copy of the product and then return the defective one. So you might have someone who like, or they'll just return the product and put nothing in it, or put like, you know, tissue paper or something. And Amazon, as far as I know, usually doesn't really check the contents of the return. So if you return the box, and you know you're one of these unethical people, you can return a box and just stuff it with something of a similar weight, and then when they send that package back out to the next sucker, that person will get the empty box. So there's a lot of there are a lot of things like that. Interesting, yeah. Back. All right, cool. Glad to have you back, Sergey.
I know I sound like a broken record, but a lot of people in America and around the world right now are maxed out on debt and bottomed out on savings. If people can make a few $100 pulling a fast one with some online orders, some are going to do it. When the perceived victim is Amazon and they don't even need to hand back the products in person, people don't feel as guilty about returns fraud as they would from an independent business, even when most of the time it actually is the third-party retailer behind the scenes. Since items are hand-delivered to your door, it's often not even worth it for the company to get someone to come and pick an item up again, because then they are paying for shipping twice on an item they probably won't be able to sell again. Every year, the company destroys billions of dollars worth of returned merchandise, which the third-party retailers end up paying for. According to data from Red Stag Fulfillment, this is lower than most e-commerce sales, which average a return rate of 16.9% compared to Amazon's 5 to 15%, which is said was thanks to Amazon's investments in customer ratings. However, when businesses handle their own returns directly, they have more control over what happens to the product, which can avoid new customers getting defective repackaged returns. This return rate is also almost double the rate of traditional brick-and-mortar retailers because getting away with questionable returns is a lot harder in person. For businesses that sell through Amazon, this is a growing strain on their business. And for normal people that just want to return defective items, they now have to jump through more hoops than ever to get it done. Between customers, shareholders, employees, third-party retailers, and economic realities, Amazon cannot satisfy everybody at the same time. For now, the strategy is to make everybody just a little bit angry while they wait for AI to hopefully pay off.
AI will not pay off. It's not going to pay off. I don't know if I necessarily buy the whole bubble thing, but they're overusing it massively. It's a great tool, but it's not going to do what a lot of these companies think it's going to do.
But even if that does, it presents a new problem. If AI takes all of our jobs, who is Amazon going to sell to? Go and watch this video.
So there you go. The Amazon problem keeps getting worse. They're getting greedy, and now, like I said earlier, they're taking away a lot of the Prime benefits that were really helpful to people before. Why does my arm keep moving? My left arm. I think the hand tracking thinks that my mic arm is my physical arm, and so it keeps making me do like all this stuff. Jeez. All right. But chat, we got one more react. And this is a little bit of a white pill, so I hope you're ready to feel a little bit happier. So I'm gonna do something that I hope makes you hope this makes you feel a little better, chat. You ready for this? Here we go. Here's our white
Do you
pill.
have time to talk to your boss? I didn't think so. And they don't have time to talk to you either, because apparently the great flattening is upon us, which means they're getting rid of middle managers everywhere they can.
Doesn't that just fill you with joy, chat? This flattening. They're getting rid of middle managers everywhere. My heart became filled with warmth, pride, and childlike joy. I mean, really, it's just such good news. I just felt so good. I just felt so good hearing that. Impossible, I'm always miserable. Well, I would hope this would cheer you up a little bit. Wait, what? Yeah. Yeah. Middle managers. They're getting fired. Nobody likes those people.
They can, and just replacing them with AI. And if they can't give it to AI, then they're just offloading all of that to the remaining managers. Now, when you look at the news, they'll tell you that companies are doing it to reduce hierarchy, become more nimble, and give employees more autonomy. No, not really. They're just firing people, and shareholders always need a reason to squeeze out those profits. Fewer managers means less payroll, and if payroll is down, then the shareholders clap. Everyone else, they just get more work. Managers are overseeing more people as companies, large and small, got layers of middle management. Google recently said it cut 35% of its managers. Intel eliminated 50% of its manager layers. Match Group.
And yeah, like he said, don't let them sell this to you as they're trying to flatten hierarchies or whatever. They're just trying to save money. But for once, corporate greed is working in mankind's favor. It's possibly answering something. I mean, truly, this is just... I mean, if this isn't a white pill, I don't know what is.
Match Group here. This one's actually kind of funny. You know, the company that runs Tinder and Hinge and Match and OkCupid and Plenty of Fish and
This also makes me very happy to see that all the crappy dating apps, they're all dying.
And all these other ones, apparently they all cut 20% of their managers, and I find that funny because you're telling me that there's actually someone at that company that's not a bot? Down here they say hurried managers, and if you're like me and thought that was supposed to be hurried, no, that's actually a word. It means stressed. Yeah, I had to look it up. Anyways, stressed managers need to find new strategies to run ever larger teams and keep up with an ever-expanding list of duties. Many employees say they need to tuck up their accomplishments because the boss is too busy to notice, and they have just a few minutes to do it. And both sides agree, only high-performing self-starters thrive. So
The dating apps are dying, but where am I supposed to go now for chicks to ignore me? Anywhere, really. I like to do it at my local Target. There are a lot of hot girls at my local Target that ignore me, you know. That works really well. You could go to pretty much anywhere, really.
So in this part of the article, they just admit that.
And the best part is you don't even have to talk to them. You don't have to do any swiping. You don't have to put any work in. They'll just ignore you. They'll just ignore you. It's great. And you don't have to worry about swiping a million times, getting no matches, and then feeling bad about yourself.
Admit that it's not exactly how hard you work, not how long you stay there, not how early you come in. It's just how loud you are about the work that you're doing, because everyone is...
Yeah. So now instead of trying to screech about how... Or well, they're actually just straight up admitting that it's not really about the work you do, but it's about how good you are at sucking up to the boss. Good point, yeah.
Everyone is competing for the manager's attention now. So really, you just make every little thing that you've done into this huge ordeal. Make sure everyone knows about it. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. And then for some reason, I don't know why they put this in here. It's like Michael Scott from The Office. If you hire Michael Jordan, they don't need the same level of attention day to day as a rookie. Employing fewer people, especially fewer managers, is viewed among the board of directors and investors as a sign of the company's strength. Indeed, many companies cutting managers aren't in a position of weakness. Instead, they see eliminating potential bureaucracy as a way to ensure organizations stay nimble. Now down here, they just start saying stuff like, over the past decade or so, employees look to managers for even more. Bosses touted themselves as servant leaders. I remember that meme. It's not about me, it's about the company, which...
I mean, how often have you had a boss that you actually considered like an actual leader and not just a manager? It's like, they're two very different concepts, right? A manager is just someone who basically wastes everybody's time with pointless meetings and makes up a bunch of nonsense to justify their job. A leader actually helps people and, you know, gets results. And how many times have you had a boss that was a leader and not just a manager? I'd say it's very few.
Which I own, that, you know, but don't think about that. It's not about me. Now, these servant leaders were responsible for guiding a company through collaboration and humility and creating an environment where younger employees felt comfortable to be their true selves. And then for some reason, they say many millennials expected bosses to know their birth dates and to make time to hear a recap of their weekends. I don't think...
Have you ever expected that from a boss? Because I haven't. That's like... Who expects that from the boss? Who wants to talk about their weekend with their boss?
I don't think I've ever expected that from anyone at work. In fact, I'd say most people probably wouldn't want to give out that info. I don't know. They're just saying stuff. Please don't tell your boss all that stuff every week. Like, they don't need all that.
If anything, that sounds like a boomer thing. You know? The kind of thing that boomers love to do.
That info. Now down here we have the I'm Struggling bus, where they interview some people who are just miserable at their job, want to tell the Wall Street Journal and the entire world about it. I mean, it says their name and their company, where they work, their position, and they just say how much they hate it there. Why would you do that? I don't know. Eric, a manager for a health regulator.
Yeah. I mean, I'm watching my back and covering my ass when I talk to my boss. Yeah. Exactly. Talking to your boss is basically... It's basically like a negotiation. It's not... It's rarely ever like actually just a friendly conversation.
Regulator in Vancouver, British Columbia, started his role in April with 8 people. Now he has 11. He says, I'm struggling to keep on top of everything.
He started his role in April with 8 direct reports, now he's 11. He began with weekly one-on-ones for some team members. He's shifting those meetings to every other week or monthly to make his workload more manageable. I don't think those employees are upset. They're probably happier that you're spending less time on them.
I'm trying to save my own bandwidth. Right now I'm using Microsoft Sticky Notes. It says he sometimes loses track of what he needs to do, but colleagues chase him down. He often wakes up by 4:30 a.m. thinking about work. I generally feel a consistent state of inadequacy.
Oh no, not the poor manager. Whatever will we do? Oh no. He has to actually try to do it. He has to actually try to be a leader.
Why are you telling the whole world this? Maybe it's time to go on vacation, or really talk to your boss. If employees once expected their boss to know their kids' names or whether they like Taylor Swift, some bosses say they may no longer be able to offer such a personal touch. Now,
Nobody wants that. Leave me alone.
you know they're just using the word Taylor Swift in here to get that sweet, sweet...
Most of these bosses are like women. You say one thing to them and then they'll use it against you 5 years later.
SEO to get this article trending because of the engagement. Oh, I mean, that's just like shameless SEO there, Wall Street Journal. Gotta get those clicks. Now, they interview this other person, Harsha Sanagaram, who's been at Microsoft for more than a decade. He now manages 8 people after absorbing a former colleague's team. And then the
Michael Scott wants that type of relationship. Oh no. Oh no. No. God. The whole Jan thing, that was just painful. Women bosses, they're worse in tech. Yeah, absolutely. My last boss was a woman, and she was crap. I think the last... Yeah, I think every female boss I've ever had has been absolute crap. At least my boss's boss is garbage, yeah. Yeah, the least competent people are the ones who tend to end up moving up the chain because they're good with people pleasing, but they're not so good at doing the actual work. She doesn't even know what a CMOS battery or even what a computer core is. Okay, I know a CMOS battery, but I don't think I've ever heard the term computer core snap. And now she's leading our department. Of course she is. Beautiful. Oh, are you talking about like a... Are you talking about a CPU core? But yeah, it's like... Okay, yeah, a CPU core. Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah. But yeah, it's like these people, half the time they give you all sorts of bullshit, and then the thing you are really always tempted to say is, "Oh, I'm sorry, do you want to do the work?" Because you know that they could not handle doing your job at all. Meanwhile, they get paid to do basically nothing of value.
Then the article goes, that's doable, but they also don't chit-chat about life outside of work unless a team member brings it up. I'm really not sure why they're so focused on it being so tragic that they're not talking to you about personal life things anymore. Wait, please don't take away the water cooler talk, said no one? But what do you think? Does your boss have time for you? Did they ever have time for you? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, click subscribe to see me call out more corporate nonsense like this.
So yeah, I don't know about you, but I have only had like 1 or 2 bosses in my entire life that I actually liked and that were actually decent. But she has a teaching background, and when we were asking to get the resources to create a knowledge base with its own server for us technicians, she knows jack shit about it. Yep. Yeah, she doesn't know. Yeah, these are the people that are usually in charge. They don't know anything about your job. Anyways, I digress. But yeah, have you ever had a boss that you actually liked? I can think of like maybe 2 instances of bosses that were actually really like decent that I actually wanted to get to know. And to be fair, one of them I am actually still good friends with, and he is like a great guy, but you know, the vast majority of bosses are not like this. They are really just people that you would rather have as little contact with as possible. Very few bosses, but generally I felt different, yeah. But yeah, the overall message, this should be a white pill for you, chat. These managers, they're just getting fired left and right. They're getting laid off. They're gone. So beautiful. So beautiful. I had one good boss, felt sad when she left. New management sucks at the moment. Yeah. Yeah, that'll happen. That actually, in my last job, that's what happened to me. Is I had a decent boss. You know, I liked the guy. He's the one who hired me. And then, like a couple months in, we got reorged, and this guy, who was actually really solid, he knew his stuff. He was told that he couldn't be a manager anymore if he wanted to keep doing actual engineering work. And so he had to step down and become like a principal engineer. And then he got replaced by this woman who had no idea what she was doing, and she was a terrible boss. And yeah, it sucked. So, but yeah, don't let that ruin your day, because these useless managers, they're getting fired. And if anything, it's managers and corporate executives that are easiest to replace with AI, because they don't do real work anyway. They just make up meetings and waste everyone's time. So, yeah, it fills me with joy to see these people, these useless people, getting fired. The useless eaters, to use the globalist term. All right, so now we are going to get into Relooted chat in a little bit here. So now I have to go make some, shall we say, Amazon bitter lemon drink. So I'm going to go do that really quick, and then we're going to get into the Relooted demo and see just how bad the black culture is. We're going to do some cultural appropriation, I guess. So yeah, give me like 2 minutes. I'll be right back, my friends. All right, I'm back, chat. So if you're not familiar with what we're doing today, we're taking a little break from Psychonauts and we're playing Relooted. The demo for Relooted just came out. So we're going to play that. Let me show you really quick here. Drop my music here. There we go.
Of the Chaka people.
Yeah, DEI game, let's go. Yep. Check shit posting when you can on the Discord. Okay, I'll check really quick, Sergey. Let's see here. Melee Games Discord, I assume. When you call the... Oh, beautiful. Nice. Alright, let me see if I can pull it up here. No. There you go. That's what Sergey sent. Nice. It's alright. That works, especially because he's dead now. But yeah, so Chad, if you're not aware of Relooted, here's the trailer.
A friend of mine, Runa, needs an unusual item retrieved. Mandy Melisco.
Oh, there's a white guy. Chad, they added a white guy. Speaking of culture, yeah. This day culture. Stay culture, Chad.
Melly was a leader of the Chaka people in Moshi and resisted German expansion in Tanzania.
He was hanged and then decapitated. His head was sent to Germany to be phrenologically studied.
The time has come for the Great One to return.
I'm not even sure what accent I want to read this in. Yeah, I don't remember the cracker. When did they put him in there? Yeah, me neither. But they added a token white guy. Yeah, the only white dude yet. Early life check. Oh, you think he might be? You think he might be a nose? Snap. Watch the white boy betray the blacks. Yeah, he turns out to be the villain.
Words.
Yeah.
Let's make them true.
Your way in. Which veins do you want to assign me to? Ready.
Always check.
Let's bring those ancestors home.
Every time. Just what were they thinking? What on earth were they thinking? So yeah, we're gonna. Looks like a ripoff of that new Prince of Persia game. I can kind of see it. I can see some of it. Okay, let me see. Let me get this running here. I hope this doesn't destroy my entire desktop setup. They weren't thinking, and it's hilarious. Yep. Game about being kangs. That's the culture, snap. Alright, let's see. Launch the game. And of course it went full screen and I can't see anything. I got a black screen. Beautiful. I don't. Oh, there we go. Hang on, I gotta get to the main menu. Fine, whatever. It's compiling shaders, chat. You can't hear it, but this is the goofiest thing I've ever heard. Hang on, let me... I want windowed mode. We'll do 1920 by 1080. Oh, thank God. Now, let me see if... Let's see if this will launch back... Okay, good. It's back in windowed mode. So... Alright. Let's see... See if it shows up. Alright. Let's give this a shot. Can you hear that, chat? Can you hear the culture? You getting cultured, chat? Can you feel the culture? If I don't stay cultured, I get my cat converted, taken away. Reclaimed for the advancement of NBA Americans. Oh gee, I'm feeling so enriched by the culture. I can hear the song of the Nike wearers. I thought they wore oh, what was it? I thought they wore like Jordans or something. Wakanda forever, yep. Alright, let's see, difficulty. Oh, we have a game journalist mode. Should we just do game journalist mode, chat? Should we just do game journalist mode? I'm gonna do game journalist mode. I'm gonna play this game the way it was meant to be played. Like someone who works for Kotaku. Vibration fine, yeah, that's all good. Graphics. I don't really need FSR here. This music, yeah, isn't that great? It's so stereotypical. I haven't felt this culturally enriched since Lion King. Oh man. Do you feel the circle of life? Snap. Production quality's fine. I don't want anti-aliasing. Don't care about processing. And I'll just turn off this crap. Why is it low? Why is it not off? There really needs to be an off. Shading quality, fine. I don't trust this game to actually run properly, so I'm not going to set it too high. Shadow quality, whatever. That's fine. I assume this will work with my controller. Subtitles are fine. Audio. I'm gonna turn the music down a bit because sound effects. Alright. Are we gonna see him using spears in this game too? Oh, that would be funny. No, but I feel the healing of our people from taking back what's ours from the target. Oh man. Alright. Alright, chat. It's time. It's time to get cultured. Shit.
Okay. What's this all about? You know I hate suspense. Yes?
Well, it has to do with my former job. As a restitution expert for the Transatlantic Returns Treaty, there have been some
This game already screams.
The name of the treaty itself is a misnomer. It should be called the Colonial...
Terrible time
poor
for
attempt at
lesson, bud.
Fortnite
Just
and
go with
Saints
the thing
Row
about the
reboot.
clause.
Right. There's an old clause in the treaty that
Actually,
uses the
yeah,
words
this is
public
already reminding me of the
display.
Saints Row reboot.
Basically saying all artifacts that are currently on display to the public need to be returned.
Museums are now using that old clause to basically remove artifacts from public display under the auspices of changing exhibits, maintenance, etc. They don't intend to put these artifacts back on display and are also not disclosing what they have in storage. They intend to have these on display for private viewings instead.
Can't give back what you don't have.
Exactly. But that also means they cannot report the artifacts missing or stolen.
Stolen?
Never touched that
Who's
reboot from the sounds
stealing?
of it. Glad I didn't. What is this thing?
Us! As in the three of you. A retired history professor.
Yeah, I actually saw
Trevor.
a short fat otaku
I'm not
video
just
on the Saints Row
Trevor.
reboot,
I'm the security system.
and its development was
AKA
extremely troubled too.
The locksmith.
Great. You even have aliases.
Why are they speaking the language of the
No, but if
Conquerors?
we
I need
did,
some
I
Zulu
would be the
subtitles.
inside man. I know the goings-on in museums, so I would gather intel about these artifacts being removed. I
Of
work
course,
for one of the biggest in the
white
world.
guy is
And Coco's basically an expert.
the benevolent
It's all
white
in her
guy.
wheelhouse. She could be the brain trust.
That's where you come in.
Me?
We could do this by ourselves, but Trevor insisted we'd tell you about it.
Oh my god. You're going to get yourselves... Do you even hear yourself?
No other items have been returned in the last 15 years. Isn't that a crime too? I know how this sounds, but we
God, the
wouldn't
motion
be
blur is
stealing those
awful
artifacts
already, I
for
can
ourselves. They would go
And there's
back
no way to
to
turn it
where
off
they
that I can
belong,
see.
where they were taken from.
I'm not going to change your mind, am I?
No.
And you already have a plan to steal something, don't you?
Absolutely.
Well, let's hear it.
It's time to enact the culture. Oh boy.
We're doing this to show we can work together.
That's right, you've got nothing to prove, sis. No
Motion
matter
blur
what
is
they say.
awful.
What who says?
Irrelevant. Focus on the task. Some dodgy dude, who certainly wasn't me, stole Coco's favorite vase.
Should they be Minecrafting some white farmers right about now?
Professor of the Year vase. Trevor! Off the comms, Coco. We're working.
It didn't actually tell me how to jump. I just figured that out myself. Like, this frame rate is awful, by the way. I'm not even kidding. Like, is this really gonna be? Is this game in Unreal 5? Am I really gonna have to enable FSR just to get it to run at 60 frames per second?
I feel so alive!
Sergey tipped $2. Black Panther meets Prince of Persia from Wish XD.
Oh, thank you, Sergey. Appreciate that.
Oh my god!
Sergey said, "Yeah, let me pull up Sergey's chat here. I think, so I guess Stream Elements isn't posting it in the chat for me. So give me one sec here. We got to give Sergey the proper respect he deserves here. So all right, Stream Elements. Stream Elements makes everything like twice as hard as it needs to be. All right, log in. YouTube, blah, 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 blah. All right, let's see here. So Sergey said, Black Panther meets Prince of Persia from Wish. Amazing. I love that. And yeah, I can kind of see it because, yeah, it does kind of look like the Prince of Persia. That last Prince of Persia game. with like the guy with the weird haircut. If you remember that, he's got like the mental illness haircut. And yeah, there's a bunch of Black Panther Wakanda in here. So yeah. Yeah, thank you, Sergey. I really appreciate that. Alright. Now let's see if I can get this game to actually run and not be a complete joke. I am getting a phone call, chat. Give me 1 sec. Sorry, chat. My parents are in another country right now, and so they... so my mom randomly decided to call me. But, yeah. They don't know I stream, so that's probably why. Yeah, so let's see. Fracture says never touched that reboot from the sounds of it. Glad I didn't. Oh, yeah, I read most of this. You're welcome, my good sir. Well, thank you, sir. I really do appreciate that. You know, you guys never have to tip or anything, but anything is greatly appreciated if you do send it. Let's see. Lost Crown that came out last year, or Rogue Prince of Persia that just came out a couple weeks ago. I assume Lost Crown, the one with the one where the Prince of... Oh, it's not even the Prince of Persia himself. It's like the black guy. It's like a bodyguard or something. Let's see if I can... Oh, here we go. Visual effects. That's probably the problem. But I believe it was Prince of Persia Lost Crown. Yes, it's this one. See with the you see how it's a black guy for no discernible reason? With the mental illness haircut. So. Yeah, that's what it reminds me of. See that right there? Oh yeah, and Sergey says it too. More like Lost Crown with the goofy haircut. As much as I enjoyed the gameplay, I did not understand the backstory of that character. Gonna be playing that one on Metroidvania Monday as soon as I finish other Oh, okay. Well, good luck, Neo. Good luck. Gotta love consultants, yeah. Yep. Stop that. There we go. Okay, I hate it when Steam does that autoplay thing. Alright. Lightly tap A. Why do I have to tap? Oh, that's why. Oh, now I'm getting filtered. There we go. I don't know why they have this big thing up top that it's like it's preventing me from jumping properly. From the demo and everyone I know that played it, it's a great game. Okay, so you're saying the game's actually decent, it just looks like crap, Neo? Parkour! Okay, it's still running like crap. Alright, fine, I'll turn on FSR. I really hate it when I have to do... Wait. Oh, there we go. Generation. No, I'm saying it looks woke, Neo. Because of the mental illness haircut. Because you're also not even playing as the Prince of Persia, as far as I know. You're playing as like a bodyguard or something. Okay, so that's it? This entire...
Let's go!
Hey, what? There's something here? I don't know, I got here... Oh, so I can pull the table around. Huh. Right. This whole thing is literally just me running.
Let's go!
Wait, what's the point of that? We did it! That tutorial seemed incredibly unnecessary. Be back, gonna go grab dinner. Alright. See you in a bit, Fractured.
These old buildings make it too easy. Where's the challenge?
Can you just unlock the door, locksmith?
Hold LT and X to confirm placement.
Waiting on you. Perfection.
He unlocked the door by punching it.
Don't rush. Use Nunu. Nunu can scan through any unshielded exterior wall.
Okay. Look for a table. I mean, oh, here we go. We got a table. Okay, so I just run left here and grab a table.
Good control. You can also zoom in and out as needed. Remember, you can access Nunu at any time as you pass through here.
I think this really was made for game journalists.
If you ever need to properly open, a table is your best friend.
They really like tables.
Yo! Hey, that looks like a safe. I don't think there's anything in this one, but we might be able to use the safe itself. Finally.
Okay, go punch the safe.
Standing by. The amount.
Okay. Am I supposed to use this thing? I see a little marker. No? Okay.
Hey, Lightning. Good to see you.
So what am I supposed to do?
Going
Oh, there's a...
in place. I got you.
Okay, I guess that's interesting.
Hey, that window has changed. They've replaced it with security glass.
Okay.
Need help through that security glass? Ready.
So what am I gonna like crash through or something? That's a confusing mechanic. So I have to use the hanging guy to smash through security glass?
Going. In place? Let's go.
You know, this would all be a lot easier if they just gave the main character the grappling hook. I don't really see the point of all that.
my vase?
When you take it, the alarm will trip. All security shutters will seal, flashing lights, you know, that kind of thing.
So I guess I should probably use this thing. Well, what's it?
Yes! Say when. You're welcome.
Upstairs.
Plan your escape before you take this. Have you got a surefire way out? Being fast will only help so much. Once the alarm is tripped, you won't have time to think.
So think ahead. Got it.
So what, do I take the base or do I go plan something?
Yes, ma'am. Ready.
Careful, there's an alarm on that little window.
But I need to leave through here, Trevor.
So be sure you're completely ready before you leave.
Alright, so I guess
In place.
I guess I have that guy in place and then I just go?
I'm ready now.
Are you sure about that? Huh?
When the alarm is triggered, the security shutters will close.
And I guess I could use that table. I don't think there's really a reason for it, but I guess I could push the table so that this thing stays open. Oh yeah, there we go.
Hold on tight.
It's time to get out of there.
It's nice to know what the rest of this is taken care of. We did it. We stole something, chat. The black people successfully stole something. I'm so proud. Do they really... This is the most African stereotype thing ever. To have a fancy hideout and then just make it look like it's made out of clay or something. It's a mission briefing table.
Normally.
You're more...
Because I haven't chosen a room yet?
No. Yes? Whose idea was it?
To take back the artifacts.
And you just went along with it?
I know we just met, but I really believe in what we're doing. It was supposed to be just me, Prof, and Trevor.
Well, forgive me. I'm overprotective of my family.
As am I.
I should probably get going.
Later, normally.
And of course I can't sprint. Do I take the elevator? Not exactly. Okay, there we go. Briefing room.
What do you think of Daddy?
Even as a little girl, you were full of questions. So many questions.
So you know I won't leave until you answer my question.
And you know I don't like vague questions.
Do you like him?
I just met him, but he is a great asset.
Is that it?
He's also very direct and polite.
Huh. A thief with manners.
You are not thieves.
Let's just continue.
Thanks for being
I really
honest
don't
with
care
me,
what they're
Google.
talking about.
When have I ever lied to you, little girl?
You know what I mean.
Get out of here. We have a guest joining us on a secure line. Someone who can solve our transportation issue, Mr. October.
Friends call me Mr. O. My business requires both trust and discretion, which I will offer to you along with my service.
Your services being?
Logistics, specifically those avoiding bureaucratic entanglements like customs and border control.
So you are...
Businessman? I'm gonna go with the one that seems most thematically appropriate, chat.
a criminal, despite the fancy words.
You are a thief, despite your fancy clothes.
So this is not out
I
of the
wonder if
goodness
this game
of
was
your
funded
heart.
by some country's
I am
tax dollars.
sympathetic to your cause. What African would not be? But
Well, it
my
depends on what
services
country this
are
game
not
came
cheap.
out of, because if this was made by American
Fortunately for
developers,
you,
which I mean
I
it could
need
be,
a favor.
it might be
A
our
friend
tax
of
dollars,
mine,
snap.
Bruna, needs an unusual item retrieved. Her ancestor's head.
An actual head?
I met Mr. October after a conference for repatriation movements. The Return of Human Remains group has similar goals to ours.
Across the world, body parts were taken as curios or as specimens for pseudoscience.
And they can't get it returned?
Pedro was sold to a private collector.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised either, snap. You know what? I don't really want to know about any of this. I'm just gonna continue.
Tell me more about the...
Alright, let's see.
I need more on the plan.
She is out of town, and
What kind of security does...
She is unsurprisingly paranoid.
I hope this means lasers, shutters, alarm. I hope you are.
What do we know about the build?
Fraulein's manor is in an
it's the
isolated
Fraulein.
suburb. It's older than many countries.
Neighbors are
Once I'm...
The collection?
He means to say the items are spread.
Any chance Nunu has some new...
No.
Just we know. You can't be in two places at once.
Bruno's ancestor is a so-called
Several Amazonian macabre visitors to South America.
Yeah, sorry if you actually
purchased
want to hear
them
this,
as
chat,
curios.
but it's just so
Even
boring.
into the 20th century, although most of them were fake, made solely to
It's just,
satisfy
oh,
the
they
European
stole our
demand.
artifacts.
Etienne is right about her being.
Who? Prince Alemay.
He was taken to England.
He died
Until Fraulein Creepy...
Smelly was
his head and in...
Oh, this is
As I
literally just
said,
some kind of
She's well connected.
This isn't
education.
going to be pleasant. But we'll do it, Mr. October.
Thank you. When it's all done, you will have access to my entire fleet. No questions asked.
Let's bring those ancestors home.
Can't see it, chat, but I'm literally yawning at how boring this is. Use the globe to start the mission. Okay.
This is not what I signed up for.
Nice to know I'm
It
supposed
sounds
to
like
be
something
radicalized.
right out of an old...
Well, at least the actors put on the every 60 seconds in Africa accent. Alright, let's get to it. There's Pedro. It's Base Tyrone. Yep. Yeah, I love Big Man Tyrone. Seems like a nice guy. House of Horrors.
The
So we
renovation
gotta steal
crew
Pedro
left hours
Pascal.
ago. We're good to go.
The time has come for the Great One to return.
And Gemeli's last words. Let's make them true.
So what, there's something. If I just scan everything, I'll be able to see all the rooms, right? Like a good way to do it. Assume this is the escape route. It seems like it's something of a strategy game. At least, well, partly strategy.
Time to show you what Nunu can do. Start by moving her around. Nunu crunches mission data to locate and highlight points of interest. Find and select the next one.
Yay.
Good control. You can also zoom in and out as needed.
Okay.
Go to the next POI.
Just zoom, is that it? Oh, I think that's a distance. Oh, here we go.
Your way in. I bribed a man on the Reno team to leave certain windows open for us. His name is Bulldog, a man of honor. Hello,
So
Pedro.
honorable he can be bribed.
This room is rigged with an alarm. You better be ready to run when you take Pedro.
You'd think Pedro Pascal would come quietly.
What are you hiding here, Fraulein?
Could be Prince Alemayo's remains. The only way to get it is if you have something to prop open the shutter.
Mind Gemeli's car. Pay attention to that alarm. It will bring down the security shutters.
Well, we got our, a man of honor can't be bribed,
That
yeah.
door is gonna lock when the alarm goes off.
Exactly,
so make sure
Neil,
I'm
exactly.
on standby before you trigger it. Hop over the pond. From there, it's smooth sailing to the extraction point.
I will go through the vents. There are 3 places I can get out to help you, but they are far apart, so I can only be at 2 of them. It is up to you which ones works with your plan.
I don't friggin' know. Okay, so what do I do here? So I can jump through the window. I don't know if the window's gonna give me... How do I... So I get in and take whatever the heck this is. Run in here. How do I get upstairs? Jump through the glass. I guess I can come up here and yeah, there's that. Jump over the thing. Grab whatever that is and where does this go? What's even the point of this? The shutter here, but I don't really know how to keep it open. I mean, I assume this will be useful for escaping, but... Okay, well, this will be useful to prop that open, but... If I take that, I could probably just escape through here, so... No need for that. The other question is how do I get here, which I still don't have an answer to. No table. I don't know. Yeah, this is not, Oh, I see. I have to come up here somehow. I see. Alright, you know what? I will just use...
Meet me here.
One, I think we'll go with the balcony. Actually, no, we don't need the balcony. Let's not him here. Good. Did I?
I need you on the roof, Daddy.
Those are all the vents I can get to. Once we start with the mission, you cannot change my assignments. Are you certain of your choices?
I have a plan.
Normally, there's more to look at here. Take your time.
I don't really know what else there is to look at, but okay.
Look, Trevor. It's Abel.
Oh, okay, so it's just showing me all the other crap.
There's something worth taking in there.
A safe with handles.
They use a lightweight alloy for these nowadays. Bring it over here.
Yeah. Good. What else is there?
A skylight is a huge security risk, one that we should exploit.
That's all there is. You're ready.
Alright, let's get to it.
For reasons I'm sure you can guess, voodoo is mostly misunderstood and
Haitian
misrepresented.
voodoo fetish?
Haitian voodoo,
Voodoo
is
is
a
a
religion,
fetish?
and those artifacts would. Did you know?
I don't care. Wait, so I can't actually
For
grab
reasons
it?
did you-
What is the point of it?
These are some of the most... The dodo was a large flightless bird.
Yes, thank you. I know about dodos. Okay, I got this guy here. What do I... Oh, I gotta go around the other side? What is the point of that guy?
Standing by. You're welcome. Later.
That's a move mark quickly. Several people place their dead ready
Yeah, I don't care.
inside the backcloth bundle.
Got it.
So what, I put the table here, so when this thing shuts, I can just kinda... not deal with it. Not dealing with that. Let's see.
These are some of the dodo...
It's just another dodo crap. Go upstairs. Some vent boys here.
Going. In place.
Oh, so it'll give me a both.
Let's go.
That's good.
Ready. I got you. In place.
Wait, you're telling me he can't get... Come on. Maybe I have to do that.
Hold on.
No?
Ready. Hold on tight. In place.
This is already a pain.
Ready.
What if I want him to target the other side?
Hey, in place.
There we go.
Yes. I got you.
Could do that. Stairs. Oh, now we have a table. We did it, Reddit. Okay, so now I have a table.
Going. Ready? In place?
Okay, so there's the thing. Where's that weird skull thing? Here, so I should be able to get to it. And then... So I guess... Hey, Fracture's back. Are you being properly enriching?
Ready.
There's something. So here, watch
this.
Yes, oh, so he's got to be here. I was like, why can't I break through that glass? It was driving me mad. Okay, so I steal Pedro here. You're gonna give this to James. Don't spoil the surprise, Neo. It depends on how much it costs, obviously, but it's in the plan. And snap. I'm radicalized. I'm radicalized enough to donate to the ADL. Okay, so I gotta go back. Oh wait, I can use this to Vicky. So I got that. No, I got that thing. Come back from the ledge. Yeah, Snap. Snap. It's time to cuck the ADL like PewDiePie. So there's the Prince thing, and then the doohickey down there. Alright, so... I think we want... Pedro... So I think we grab Pedro Pascal first, try and grab this Prince thing, and then... we go for that skull. Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. But yeah, actually, Neo Dude ruined one of my, ruined the surprise of one of the things I'm gonna gift James at some point. Too late, I'm already considering the WNBA as well. See, if you want to support black men, support the WNBA.
Ready. Going. In place?
Alright.
Ready.
So Neo, it's in the members, the monthly subscribers channel, in the Melee Discord. Dude, kind of ruined the surprise. It's another femboy game that I'm planning to gift James. Fractured. No. All right, let's see. Let's try doing a little cultural enrichment chat. You ready? Culturally enriched.
Ready.
It's time to get out of there.
Move, normal.
10 seconds left.
Oh,
5 seconds, normally.
Why do I have to go so far?
This is taking too long.
Okay, kindly Klepto Club.
We did it. We did the black
Luckily,
thing.
Africa has you on their side. Amazing job. You can do better than that, sis. Optional for who? You took them all. You really locked in with the speed.
Chat, I can feel my
Nothing wrong with a silver medal performance.
I can feel my skin darkening, chat. I'm so good at this.
What's going on? What are they doing parked in the middle of the...
Careful! You're transporting precious cargo back here. And ancient artifacts.
Keep it up and you give us all N-word passes.
What's happening?
Sis, this is
You can
bad.
say the N-word all you want in chat here if you can get it through the filters.
Look now. Leave them out of this. I can fix this.
Wait, are these black people stealing from other black people?
Trevor, my favorite security expert.
No, we're losing another one.
I hope Alpha and Tau didn't give you too much of a scare.
Just, I'll pay you back.
To think I was so close to telling Alpha and Tau to eliminate you. But I'm a good man. A reasonable man, even. I want you to know that I know what you and your little crew are doing. Trevor, you're not made for jail. So, you pay me double what you owe, and I'll keep quiet about your activities.
Come on, Dresser. Double?
Don't make us chase you again, son. We will be in touch.
Sis,
Never mind. I'll fix it.
Of course, the brother's an idiot, and the sister has to fix all this stuff. So I see we're getting intersectional here. Oh, and thank God that's the end. Wish list. I think I have it wish listed. Let me check. Let's just open the browser. Let me just double check here and make sure I have it wish listed. Is wish listed. Yes, it is wish listed. So, and keep in mind, I'm not really wish listing for me. So there we go, chat. So that was Relooted. I want to see if I can find, there's a Spider-Man 3 symbiote. Stir. Yeah, so chat, this is me right now. So yeah, I'm let's see. So the black on black crime continues to rise. I'm shocked. Well, imagine my shock. Wish list. Oh, it's wish listed. Oh, it's wish listed. Of course she does matter. The women are the true queens. Yas queen. You guys yas queening hard enough? Africa, yeah. Every 60 seconds in Africa, a minute passes. Together, we can stop this. Actually, let me see if I can find the Tyrone clip. Every 60 seconds in Africa. Yas, queen. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Here's Tyrone.
Hello, my name is Jamal. Every 60 seconds in Africa, a minute passes. Together we can stop this. Please spread the word. Thank you for your attention.
Yeah, the guy who plays Big Ben, Tyrone, he seems like such a sweet guy. His real name is, what, I think Gordon? Yeah. Yeah, so when he made this, he was trying to, he was also trying to, like, actually help, like, actual people who are in some kind of trouble in Africa, so. Yeah, he's a sweet guy. Yeah, but, yeah, we love Big Man Tyrone. No, really. Base Tyrone is so great, he could stop racism. Well, we all love Tyrone, right? We don't care what he is, we love him. Oh, he's got another one.
Hello, my name is Jamal. Every 7 days in Africa, a week passes. Together we can stop this. Please spread the word and make sure you subscribe to my right-hand man and General of Kyrgyzstan, Louis 464 2011.
That's an easy
Thank
name to
you
subscribe to.
for your kind attention.
What a great laugh.
Please help me. Please.
I wasn't expecting that ending, but his Reddit video is great too. Does he have a Reddit video? Let's see. Big Man, Tyrone, Reddit, and Overwatch voiceovers. Is it this one? I see a couple of them.
Hello, friends, and welcome to Reddit. Funny cat pictures. Wow, yes, an upvote. Come on, conspiracy. Wait till Depina hears about this one. Front page. I tip my hat to you. I tip my fedora to you. And in this moment, I'm euphoric. You, sir, are a gentleman and a scholar who said chivalry was dead. Oh, no. Carl Sagan +1. Adios.
Well, yeah. Yeah, he doesn't... I don't think he posts that much anymore. Okay, he posts every so often. Yeah, I know I'm subscribed to him, but I never see his videos. It's weird. Yeah. Yeah, Big Man Tyrone's great. Basically, people pay him, if you're not familiar with him. They pay him to do whatever these speeches are. Yeah, he's pretty much retired now. Is he? Is that what it is? Because like, if I scroll down here, I do see he has videos that he's posting every so often. But yeah, no, he's still putting out videos. So yeah, but yeah, he's a sweetheart. And Arcot is also good, but he got banned for making videos too spicy. With Indian children, okay. I didn't expect that. There was another guy, oh, what's his name? Voiceover Pete. Voiceover Pete, he did the, yes, John Wick. So he got banned from, I think it was Fiverr for this. And he actually has kind of
Attention, all Fortnite gamers. John Wick is in great danger, and he needs your help to wipe out the squads in the Tilted Towers. But to do this, he needs Golden Scar and a couple of Chug Jugs. To help him, all he needs is your credit card number, the 3 digits on the back, and the expiration month and year. But you gotta be quick, so that John Wick can secure the bag and achieve the epic victory royal.
Yeah. Yeah, Voiceover Pete was another guy who's, you know, he was another one of these like really sweet voiceover guys, basically. That one of those Fiverr guys that you could pay to say pretty much whatever you wanted. But he actually got banned for this video. But yeah, he has a YouTube channel. He doesn't really post anymore, but he does have a YouTube channel here. But yeah, so but yeah. Yeah. So that was Relooted. I hope you had an interesting time learning the culture. So, well, with that, I think I'm going to go ahead. With that, I think I'm going to go ahead and uninstall this game. Because I don't want it clogging up my PC. So, yeah, I think we'll call it there. I hear the power of Taco Bell calling to me, and I'm actually pretty hungry, so I'm gonna be doing a little Demolition Man maxing. You know, little Demolition Man maxing. Was a fun stream. Thank you, Snap. Fractured filter. I'm not done with the sickness. I'm staying pure, David. Clogged with AIDS. Pool is closed due to AIDS. Neo's asking, when does it come out? I'm not sure if there's a release date on it. Let's see here. Coming soon, so there's no set release date for it. I would assume it's coming out in probably the next 6 months if they got a demo out. And look, I'll say this. The wokeness and irritating nonsense aside, and the fact that it doesn't run well unless you turn on FSR, the base gameplay is not the worst thing in the world. I can see someone who actually enjoys this kind of like strategy runner type of game. Like, I can see people actually kind of enjoying this. But the wokeness is what's going to push people out away from it. Like, if this game weren't woke, I think it actually might be kind of fun for like a particular group of people. But because they did all this weird nonsense and made it super woke and obnoxious, I think that's really what's going to kill it. Because the gameplay is not that bad. And the parkour part of it is actually a little bit fun. I feel like this would be a decent Flash game. I could see it. I could see it. Yeah, like, basically, if they didn't decide to go woke, I think this actually would be a little bit fun to play. I don't know if they're showing... Oh, yeah, here we go, gameplay. Yeah, see, like, the parkour is kind of fun, you know? And the idea of, like, planning out a heist and stuff. And yeah, I can definitely see some, like, kind of what Snap is saying. I can definitely see some inspiration from, like, old Flash games. So... yeah, unfortunately, it is woke garbage, but there's something in here that could be salvageable if they hadn't gone woke. So, but that is my review of, I guess that is my sort of review of the Relooted demo. So, hope you guys were as entertained as I was, and I'm gonna go do some Demolition Man maxing. And yeah. So hope you guys had a great time. Sergey, thank you again. There you are. Thank you again for the tip. I really do appreciate it. And, oh,
and one more thing, fucker. Before I go, don't forget to like and subscribe.
I remembered it this time. All right. All right, that's going to be it for us today, and I will see you lovely people later. So have a wonderful evening, chat.